Captain's log. Stardate September 15th, 2023. We've been cooped up in this cave after getting lost trying to mine diamonds. Thankfully, we have impeccable service down here, allowing us to host this show right down here.
Are you sure it's fucking impeccable? I mean, they couldn't hear us for like a minute. Along with that, you should have brought some torches, you piece of shit, Borb. How are we gonna find our way back?
Ah, crap, I don't know. Oh, wait, we're standing on wood. We can use that to make some pickaxes and stuff. That way we can...
Earth to Delta. We're not fucking Minecraft characters, therefore we can't Minecraft. Hell, we can't even get the fucking diamonds. What were you thinking?
I thought we had pickaxes, though, but they broke.
We never fucking did. Have you been huffing the gas fumes from the basement?
Maybe.
That fucking explains it. I'm never fucking coming with you again.
Alright.
But yeah, welcome to the stream, everybody.
Yes, welcome to 225 at night. Very scuffed intro. We were muted.
Yeah, we are fucking muted. Along with that, I fucking finished show prep like 5 minutes ago. So let's.
Yeah, welcome to 225 at night, the show where we talk about weirdos on the internet. I am Delta225.
I am Pineapple, and this is absolutely scuffed already.
Yes, this is very scuffed stream. Yeah. So, tonight...
Just get into it.
Yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about Minecraft YouTubers. The old king and new king of Minecraft, as we mentioned before.
Yep, both Dream and SkyDoesMinecraft.
Yes, so starting off, we're going to be talking about Dream. So, let me go ahead and share this with you.
Better get on me the fucking screen, you piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. That's what's happening. Well,
I can't fucking see it.
There you go.
There we go. So yeah, I'm sure you all know who Dream is, but we need to set the stage for something later. If you don't, Dream's the most popular Minecraft YouTuber, probably of all time.
And honestly, yeah, of all time, I would say that.
Yeah, and he got his start making clickbaity content and modding Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
However, since it was clickbait content, of that, only these 8 videos remain.
Mm-hmm. Probably because they got the most views out of all the other clickbait content.
Yep.
But yeah, anyways, next.
He would become so famous, he would fucking get to make videos with the creator of Minecraft, Notch.
Yeah. Unfortunately, due to controversies that Notch would get himself caught up in, these videos have since been removed.
Not unfortunate. Dream's just a fucking cuck. A spineless fucking cuck. Imagine having the chance to play Minecraft with Notch, and then just removing it because a bunch of Twitter users get mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, Crystalline Iceberg. Don't know why, but yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, let's continue.
Yeah, let's continue. Oh yeah, here's chat. There you go.
Yeah, chat hasn't been fucking up, but ultimately, everyone knows Dream because he fucking cheated in Minecraft.
Yes, he did cheat in Minecraft.
And that's what we're gonna be going over with a thorough look. So
let me make chat smaller so we can see this a little better.
Yep.
Oh, hello. Don't worry about it. There we are.
So yeah, it started on December 11th, 2020. Yeah, 2020, when the Minecraft speedrunning moderators published this document that is fucking extensive and uses a fuck ton of math. And basically,
we mean a lot of math. There was a lot of math in here.
Indeed, there was. And give me a second here. Basically, just scroll down. There's 2 charts I want to show.
Okay, all right. This one.
But the gist is that Dream, this chart here is showing his piglin bartering for ender pearls. His luck was so out of line with literally everyone else speedrunning at the time. And they calculated that his luck was 1 in 77 billion. Or sorry, 177 billion.
I think it was trillion, actually.
No, we're getting to that.
Oh, we're getting to that, okay.
And if you scroll down further, here's his blaze rod luck drops. A little bit, not nearly as outrageous, but still higher than everyone else. And they calculated his luck there was essentially 1 in 113 billion.
Oh yeah, so then, like, combining that together, Dream's luck would have to be...
And yeah, combining them together and accounting for bias in the data sets, they calculated out that his luck would have been 1 in 7.5 trillion.
Yes, indeed. I think I can make chat a little bit bigger now. There you go.
Yeah. Basically, that's the gist of this document. It goes over its methodology and it does it pretty well.
Extremely extensively, yes.
Yeah. Now, however, and this is the justification they used for removing only one run from speedrun.com.
Mm-hmm.
Dream threw a hissy fit about this. Multiple, actually.
Yes, he did.
And this was just his initial response to it.
Yes.
And I'll let you read this.
Okay. In this video, I'm going to be reading this document. So recently, I was accused of cheating during a few of my Minecraft speedrun live streams. This accusation comes with some mathematical backing, and that's what makes the accusation more serious than a willy-nilly random one. A curious viewer who noticed that my pearl luck seemed to be crazy high decided to go through and count my pearl barters along with how many barters I did. This user posted the stats on Twitter, pointing out how crazy it was, but without any accusations of cheating at the time. Some users in the speedrun Discord then reasonably decided to calculate the odds of such luck occurring. The initial calculations were around 1 in 1 billion.
No, they weren't.
No, they weren't. They were more than that. Obviously, this is a statistically significant number, and the mods and others started to look into it. Now, due to the fact that I am not a statistics major, and I am by no means an expert at mathematics, this makes it a little harder for me to defend myself. From my standpoint, I didn't cheat, and there must have been an explanation for why either the data is incorrect or the situation happened in the first place. Now, again, because of the fact that I am not amazing at statistics, more of this will be related to the non-statistics side of things than the statistics side of things. Although, I will go over both. Sections will be split with large titles. I'm going to start with the non-statistics side of things, and end with the statistics. Also, according to YouTube statistics, only 50% of people watching are subscribed, so make sure to...
Fuck you, you piece of shit. I'm disliking the stream just for that. As that is my fucking principle. I dislike a stream. I dislike anything saying that.
Alright. The why. The why is a question that I'm sure is usually much easier to answer than any of the other questions, but in this case, it isn't. I'm a popular YouTuber who actually gets less views by streaming and uploading speedruns. On my YouTube, I get 9,766,666 views on average on my speedrun videos, and I get 21,528,571 average views on my non-speedrun videos in a similar time frame. This is less than half as many views on average. On my speedrunning streams, I get around 60,000 to 80,000 live concurrent viewers. On normal streams, I get around 130,000 live concurrent viewers. Again, much less. What does this have to do with the fact that you cheated, Dream?
Yeah, no, what does this have to do with the fact you cheated?
Yeah. Like, these are completely irrelevant statistics right here.
Yes. It's just bragging about numbers.
Yeah,
and
it's just him bragging. The reason this matters at all is to show that the normal motive of get a world record and millions of views from it goes completely away with me.
Does it, though? If he had a world record, he could say he has this world record on top of having all these views.
Yeah. He would have even more bragging rights, which in turn would get him more viewers.
So that logic doesn't hold up.
Nope. On top of that, it was many days after my last stream that this started getting looked into. I had already said that I wasn't uploading my PB on either of my channels, and I didn't upload it onto either. As for 1.16 runs, I stated on many occasions that I was going for a sub 25 time, and that as soon as I got one, I would stop. I really wanted to get to speedrunning 1.15 because that's the category that I feel most comfortable in. I had mentioned to a speedrun moderator my plans before, as well as many times on stream. I got a 25:06 during the streams, but I just wanted to get below 25 minutes, even if that was 24:59. So the question is, why would I cheat?
Because he desperately wanted to get below 25 minutes, and he would do anything to do that. He just created a motivation for himself.
Yeah, he created a motivation.
He was so close, but didn't get it. That's a motivation right there for cheating.
Yeah, it's why you see a lot of good players cheat more than bad players. Because they're just so close to achieving their goal, but they just can't do it.
Yeah, no. So he was like, oh, what motivation do I have? But he stated what could easily be his motivation for cheating.
Exactly, yeah, there you go. Obviously, there's many answers to that, whether it be ego or convenience or whatever else, but most of those can be disputed fairly easily. The biggest thing that I think should make the why suspicious...
I don't think his ego can be disputed very easily. It's clear Dream has a very, very big ego.
Oh yeah, that's like, his ego is absolutely massive. The fact that he, like, responded to this in this manner is a sign of ego, but we're gonna see more of that later. Anyways, the biggest thing that I think should make the why suspicious is what happened after the 1.16 runs. After I ran 1.16, I hopped off, and one of the next days I ran 1.15. Now, this doesn't seem significant, except for the fact that I had a run where I entered the stronghold at 17:45. The current record at the time being 21:26, meaning I had over 3 minutes and 30 seconds to beat the game to get world record, and longer just to get top 5 time. I was just short on pearls due to Enderman spawning, and wasn't able to get the world record. However, in an alternate universes where I get a few Enderman spawns on the way to the stronghold during the night, which is actually the more likely scenario, I end up in the end around 1830, which is a pretty darn good chance of getting world record.
He was pursuing the world record.
Yeah, exactly, he was getting world record.
Yeah, he was actively trying to pursue world records and shit, so...
Yeah. And, I mean, one of the only reasons to get world records is because you want clout. One of the reasons.
Bragging rights.
Bragging rights.
Yeah. Imagine being this... In fact, it's all clout. It's all just saying you are number one. That's all it is.
Yeah,
and anyone
really.
saying otherwise is lying. It's all for bragging rights. Now, Dream doesn't need that to be successful.
Yeah, as can be clearly seen, but
it's
he
just
wants
another
it.
It's just another jewel to add to his crown. So
yeah, exactly.
And he clearly wants that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The interesting thing is that I got this time. It's that I got this time on a non-modded client, and I got this time with generally average RNG on a verifiable seed that can't be cheated. If this run wasn't cheated, obviously that would imply that my other 3 1.15 world records weren't cheated either.
That doesn't imply anything.
It doesn't imply anything. You could cheat one run and then not cheat another.
Yep.
This is something that seems fairly accepted among the mod team and Speedrun Discord, especially because my initial world record was on a very unoptimized category where I chopped wood for 7 minutes. So then that poses again the question, why? Why, when I know that I am fully capable of taking a world record legit on stream on a different version that I care about, would I decide to randomly cheat in a very specific way on a version I have clarified I don't really care about on many occasions? We already went over this.
Yeah, we went over this because you wanted a sub 25.
Yeah, you really wanted a sub 125 and was willing to do anything to get it. Why would I risk my entire reputation just to get a sub 25 time on a version I don't care about, and then not cheat to get world record on a version I main?
Because you cheated on both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I said, a lot of good players cheat. Like,
yeah.
Not all of them, obviously.
Yeah, no, not all of them, but...
In fact, most don't.
I'll rephrase that for you, Delta. Those who get caught cheating are often good players, because they know how the game works.
That's true, yeah. It's not that good players are cheaters, it's that a lot of cheaters are good players. There you go. Alright. Now, that makes total sense, but only if you believe that I didn't cheat previously. So then the question I have for you is, if you believe that I cheated my offline 1.15 runs, is again, why would I do this then? Because you wanted that sub 25.
And you wanted the world record.
Yep. In your eyes, I was able to get away with faking 3 world records offline with very little questions asked and no accusations. If that was the case, why would I stream myself cheating for no reason?
To give yourself an alibi?
Yeah, to give yourself an alibi. And plenty of people stream themselves cheating.
What? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's oftentimes how they get. That's one of the ways they get caught is by streaming.
Yes, but it also provides a really ironclad alibi if you're subtle about it.
Yeah,
remember, it took statistics to prove that Dream cheated.
That's true. Yeah. I've expressed on many occasions in private and public my disdain for streaming speedruns, and that I prefer to run offline by a large margin. I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I had also gotten explicit permission to run offline from Wills, and based on the speedrun rules, it was perfectly fine. I also ran 1.15 online and had near identical results to my offline runs that were published. If I was cheating for clout or any benefit, why would I not just splice a 1.16 world record offline and look like a god? Because then it would be extremely obvious.
Yeah, you could easily pick it apart because splicing is the easiest way to fake a run, and therefore people are extremely good at catching it.
Yep. It literally got to a point where literally like people just hear the sound effects of monkey ball and they catch someone splicing.
Yep.
Yeah. Or why would I not just do the exact same thing for 1.15? Why would I settle for live streaming for a sub 25 time and then moving on to a category for world record that doesn't even have the same system I supposedly cheated, bartering? To me, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever, and I feel like to most reasonable people it wouldn't either. Now,
one of the methods of his cheating was increasing blaze rod drops, which also does it, and 2, because you want the world record. I'm not saying he was cheating here or not, but he clearly wanted something in 1.16. So
yeah. Now continuing on with the why, let's talk about further motive. I care about speedrunning a lot as a whole, and I think that's something that's very easily provable through my public and private actions. I've helped grow the community and the major members of it, while always trying to make sure that speedrunning has integrity. Exit out.
Also, ego there. I've helped to grow the community.
Oh yeah, that's very much ego. That is very much an ego thing. I've helped the mod team on multiple occasions to try and succeed at catching splicers and cheaters. I've always been extremely open with the mod team, and I've even ran speedrunning events before in the past where I let the speedrun Discord participate. I've always been open and honest about my thoughts and policy, my thoughts on different versions, and with when and how much I actually speedrun. That's a lot of ego stroking, oh my goodness.
That is. And if I wanted to, if I was gonna cheat, I sure as hell would want to be buddy with everyone at the top, because they wouldn't believe that I would cheat because of that personal connection.
Exactly. I believe that it would take an idiot to decide to cheat after growing their reputation the way that I have, and with the capability that I have. Not really.
So, no, it doesn't. And 2, he is a bit of an idiot.
He is. I mean, the fact that he wrote this, like, in the first place shows, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he gave this knee-jerk reaction.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's fine for you to assume that I am an idiot, but when looking at all the evidence, it's just hard to come up with the why.
You gave the why.
Yeah.
You wanted a sub 25.
Yeah, he gave the why. He wanted sub 25. He wanted a world record.
Yep.
That's motivation in and of itself. This is a scary argument, but if I really was cheating, I could have submitted offline runs in both major categories that were world records and walked away with no way whatsoever to prove that I cheated. I'm not a random that would be defaulted as a cheater. I'm a trusted runner, and if I provided sufficient proof to the mods, those offline world records would be verified. And that's... And again, a lot of cheaters are that. They're trusted members of the community. They're really good players.
Yep.
So it's like, well, that doesn't absolve you of anything. There's many, many smarter ways that I could have cheated if I was cheating, especially if I was supposedly going through the effort of creating a mod or modifying the game code. This doesn't clear anything, but it just, again, amplifies the question of why. Because you want the world record.
He'd try to say later that that the game code was modified, but he only had these mods for his like content he made. So the game code was modified, and he did modify it.
Yes, it is. That's it for this section, and again, this part isn't about the semantics, this is just completely calling into question the motive. The how. The how is a question of how someone could have cheated in this situation. Well, we went over that.
And we know how he cheated retrospectively.
Yes. And why different methods may or may not be unlikely. The first thing to mention during this section is a data pack. This seems to be the most common accusation, especially in the comments on the video regarding it, and also by quite a few people in the Discord and other places. After my 1.16 PB of 19 minutes, I zipped up the world file directly after and uploaded it to Google Drive within 5 minutes. With this information, the mods were able to verify that I did not use a data pack, or at least that it is extremely unlikely that I did. They can verify timestamps and see when certain folders and places were edited, as well as verify the timing of the world and the fact that it wasn't edited. This cancels out data packs as a possible solution based on the evidence. You can very easily mod date modifications. You can very easily do that.
Just turn your computer clock back and save a file.
Yeah, exactly. It's very easy. So that doesn't disprove anything. Another way that was mentioned is to just directly modify game files. Although, according to multiple people with knowledge of the game, it is not possible without an actual mod or mod loader or modifying the actual game code.
He had Fabric installed, which is a mod loader.
Yep. This means that it cannot have been just opening a text file and changing piglinbarters.txt or whatever people have implied. This leaves the third and final option, which is a modded client or just a mod through a mod loader.
Which you had a mod loader, Fabric, which he mentions
right here. I used Fabric on 1.16 because that is what almost every speedrunner uses now. It allows you to use Sodium and other performance-enhancing mods that are approved by speedrun.com. Sodium boosts my performance and allows me to use higher render distance, which I've mentioned in the Discord before, and that is just obvious. This would make the most likely scenario a mod that is in your mods folder that uses the Fabric loader. Now there is no way possible for me to specifically prove that this wasn't the case. However, again, I continue to talk about the how. In order to do this, you'd have to have coding knowledge when it comes to coding mods, especially Fabric ones.
Which he does have.
Yeah, he does have. In a lot of the older videos where he does like Cursed Minecraft or whatever, he codes those mods.
Yeah, no, he does.
Yeah. So I mean, now the reason most people assume this makes me suspicious is because I'm a developer. However, I have never coded a mod in my life, still to this day, even though he has.
Bullshit.
I've coded
You literally have, Dream.
Yeah,
and you admit to being a fucking developer.
Yeah, he even says, I have coded many plugins, but I don't even know where to get started with a mod.
They're the same thing!
They're literally the same thing!
It's working in Java either way. That's the biggest fucking cop-out I've ever seen.
Yeah!
Like, holy shit.
Wow, this is... Woof.
That's...
This is literally this is on the level of like the Zango document that like he put out.
Yeah, it is. Like, holy shit, Dream.
Wow.
It's just fucking Java code either way. If you know how to code one, you know how to code the other. You just need to learn how the API works.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, that's it. Like, come on, dude. There's plenty of evidence to back this up as well. I run a Patreon where I release all the mods and plugins that George and I use in our videos. George! I'm sorry, Force Abbott. Again, mods and plugins. Now, I've probably released around 30 plugins, and 2, shortly going to be 3, mods. The mods are coded using Fabric, however, they are not coded by me or George. Out of the 30 plugins, 29 of them are either coded by George or myself. 0 out of the mods, 0 out of the 3 are coded by George or myself. They're actually coded by 2 separate mod developers under pay because I don't know how to code mods.
Sure you don't, Dream. Sure.
Sure he doesn't. Sure. I've also mentioned the fact that I don't know how to code mods on many different live streams and even a large Q&A. This was around This is around and well before this drama, very consistently. I have also mentioned in private, even to speedrun.com moderators, that I don't know how to code mods.
Yeah, sure you don't. It's just fucking Java code. All you have to do is look at the Fabric API and learn how to do this. This bro's capping for real.
He's capping hard. He's got like
this
man's got the Yankee with no brim. That's how hard he's capping.
Yeah, like. And Plushmaster snowballs. That's the answer to that joke.
Snowballs. Alright. As recently as September 7th, around a month before this incident, I was even specifically asked about whether I knew how to code specifically Fabric mods by a speedrun moderator in order for them to get my help to develop a speedrun cheat detection client, and I said then that I specifically have no experience coding mods and know nothing about Fabric. I had no reason to lie, and I did try and help them on the creative side of things, but not the development due to the fact that I have no experience. All of this
you have no your reason to lie is to undersell your ability so people don't expect of you to do shit.
Even though he is very well proven in the past that he is more than capable of coding.
Yep. Yeah. He acts like Fabric is this like super high bar thing to code for. When fucking bucket plugins are Java and fucking Fabric mods are Java. All you have to do is learn how the API works. And fun fact, there's documentation because it's made so people can code for it.
Yeah. There are literally tutorials for it.
Yes. And he clearly knows how to code in Java because he says he can make plugins, but apparently Fabric's too hard for him to learn?
Like, it makes no sense. It's still Java. It's still Java.
Let's continue.
Alright, let's continue. All of this is obviously provable. I don't even know what development environment I would code a mod like this in. Java?
Yeah, Java.
Java.
This guy is literally pretending to be stupid.
He is pretending to be stupid. That is literally what he's doing. And I have been willingly submit to giving up any of my development environment files on any of my devices. I use Eclipse for coding plugins, and I've never used anything other than Eclipse, other than maybe to try something out. I believe
Eclipse is a fucking Java development kit, which you use to make Fabric, so...
Yep. I believe that with all this information, it makes it very unlikely that I custom coded a Fabric mod to modify Piglin Barters.
Again, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Again, extremely unlikely does not mean impossible, but still extremely unlikely. Now, I'm not sure what other methods...
Very likely.
Extremely
very likely.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure what other methods of cheating there could be, but these are the ones that I've been accused of. Like, even giving him the benefit of the doubt, he could have very easily found a mod somewhere that increases the odds and just installed it.
Or he could have paid someone to make the mod.
That too. He could have also done that. Like, either way, yeah, more than likely he cheated. In fact, no, it's confirmed he cheated.
Yeah, he admitted to it.
And he admitted to it. Yeah, we'll get to it. Mm-hmm. As for further on the how, we also have to talk about how the cheating took place, meaning ignoring the method of injecting cheating, how did the cheating work if there was cheating? In this case, the assumption is that the Piglin Barters were increased from 5% to 15%. I'm not extremely well versed in statistics, but even I can say that that would be extremely dumb. Not only is it a very caveman way to cheat, it's also very unlikely given the fact that it's a mod. Okay, Caveman Dream.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah. Okay, Dream the Caveman. Alright. If someone goes through the effort to cheat using a mod, I'm sure it would take 2 seconds to make it be in a very controllable way. If someone did not know how to code mods, they would probably recognize that controlling when piglins drop pearls would be much better than controlling how much they drop pearls. Even a speedrun moderator mentioned that if they were to cheat, that is how they would do it. What speedrun moderator?
Which one?
Which one? Now, in this case, although you can't 100% prove that is the case, you can prove that again, it's extremely unlikely. There's even a time where I trade 1 gold for 1 pearl trade, and then quit the game within seconds after.
You know what? You're literally saying this would be extremely absurd. Why would anyone do that? Because no one would think you were doing it.
Yeah. But then he admitted to doing it. Yeah. If I was intentionally cheating and I knew that drop rates were altered, or I was in control of the drop rates myself, why would I do this? That also brings into... Because you wanted that world record.
Yeah.
Like, bragging rights. That is more than reason enough for people to cheat.
Yep.
Yeah. This also brings into question behavioral changes, of which I don't believe there are any, or at least not widespread ones. Throughout my runs, I still collect a lot of extra gold, and a lot of the time I do piglin trades while looking for or before finding a fortress. If I knew that I could guaranteed get pearls on piglin trades, why would I waste time doing it on seeds that I might not find a fortress in? On top of that, why would I trade on runs that I knew were essentially dead runs? To make yourself look less suspicious, that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah. That would just make me suspicious for no reason whatsoever. No, it would be more suspicious to do the things that you just listed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. On top of that, why would I give myself a lot of extra pearls on runs when I didn't need them at all? Again, so you would make yourself look less suspicious.
Not to mention, he could get bad with Ender Eye luck, so...
That's true. There's even a run where I got 26 pearls, and I believe it was 5 pearl trades. Why would I need 5 pearl trades? And if I had a mod to modify piglin barters, why didn't I make sure they had sufficient pearls? Traded for 6 or 8 pearls every time. There's a lot of dumb questions here that make the accusation of cheating just seem absurd, and given the actual effects of said cheating. Not really. Like we just said.
Remember, Dream cheated in the exact way he's calling absurd.
Yeah, he did. He said, "Oh man, increasing the odds is absurd," but he did just that. And the reason he did it like that is to make sure that suspicion wouldn't be raised.
Yeah, he had an insider ear, so he knew what people were looking out for, and then did what people weren't looking out for.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So again, that calls into question, how did the cheating take place? That doesn't disprove any kind of statistics, but it does call into question a belief on whether someone cheated or not. I gave the analogy in the Speedrun Discord before, but if someone like... What up?
You mentioned this is like Zango. It is like Zango. Instead of addressing the evidence here, he's going after motive.
Yeah, that is literally Zango. He's going after motive.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Exactly. But if someone like Illumina found an 11i portal, but they had already collected all the pearls and blaze rods needed for a full portal, despite being an 11i virtually impossible statistically, wouldn't the consensus be that Illumina was a cheater? Of course it wouldn't, because the why and how contradict the data. I believe that although this does not apply to my PB run, it applies to every run before it, especially runs where the run was completely dead, and I said, forget it, let's trade. The only way this would make sense at all is if I didn't have any reason to believe my piglin barters would be luckier than
There
average.
he goes. He sets up his alibi right there.
There's his alibi.
If it comes out he's cheating, he's saying, "Oh, if this ends up being cheats, I didn't know." That's him setting up his alibi for much later. Unlike Zango, he sets a way out all the way back here.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's not a proper way out, because ignorance of the rules in this case is no excuse.
Well, he was it would be because he didn't know, but it's very clear he knows.
Yeah, it's very clear that he knows. That's really it for the how, and now to move on to statistics, the part that I know the least about. The data. The data is presented as follows. Over the course of my 6 most recent 1.16 streams, my piglin barters over a 263 trade sample were significantly more lucky than usual. I traded for 41 pearl trades over the 263 size sample. That is around 15% odds instead of 5% odds. The reason this is significant is because of the sample size. You wouldn't expect to see that many pearl trades over that many trades basically ever. According to people who are actually good at math, it's a 1 in 40 billion chance, which is obviously absurd if the data is completely correct.
Actually, it's a 1 in 177 billion chance.
Yeah. I decided to talk with some independent sources, which are decent with statistics to help me understand the data itself. Now, the pearl trade statistics seem to be accurate. The only thing that hurts the data itself is how the data was corrected. Again, the data was collected because of what I said in the beginning of this document. An overly curious viewer who noticed I got lucky pearl trades decided to collect the data. I mean, yeah, like that's how you were found out. This in itself means that the data was collected because the data seemed inconsistent. He spells inconsistent wrong.
Does he?
Yes, he does. It's supposed to be. This is supposed to be. The A is supposed to be an E.
Oh, yeah.
On top of that, the more pearl trades you get in a row, the more likely that your sample will be smaller, which in a small sample contributes a lot to the validity of the overall data. Except that wasn't a very small sample because, well, it was like literally 263 trades.
Yes, it was.
It was a pretty big sample size.
Yep.
Rather than taking a truly random sample, the sample starts when the luck seems off, and the sample ends as soon as I hit a personal best goal of 19 minutes.
Yeah, because that's when you started cheating.
Yeah, that's when you started cheating. Because that's when I said I would stop streaming, sub 25. Although this can be touted as a random set of data, it is most definitely not. There are 5 other 1.16 streams that I streamed on Twitch that can be rummaged through that are not included in the data, and there are also thousands of offline runs that I've done myself that also have data. On top of that, again, the fact that I got very lucky means that I trade less, which means the sample size itself will be forcibly smaller. This, all-inclusive, is what I call sampling biased. And he quotes scholarpedia.org.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cherry picking, and is even, although he changes font mid-document.
yes, he does, because because it just picks up the thing from the thing he copied.
Yeah, and he just never adjusted it back. He does not know how to use Google Docs.
Nope.
Although the data may appear to be unbiased due to the fact that it's my most recent, specifically 1.16 streams, it isn't. The way it was collected and the why it was collected makes it significantly biased sampling. The data was collected because the specific sample seemed off, and the data was collected in a very non-random way, with a significant leaning towards more pearls rather than less. Obviously, this makes the situation much more complicated because there's not that much data to go off of due to the fact that I run almost completely offline. Although still to this day, I have seen no charts or data collected from my previous 1.16 streams. This is called cherry picking, as even stated by a Minecraft developer. It's actually a logical fallacy called cherry picking.
Everyone knows what cherry picking is, Dream.
Yeah, we know what cherry picking is.
But you could easily just say that's when he began cheating. Like,
yeah,
that's your rebuttal to that.
Yeah, that's just when he began cheating. Also, he literally just copied this straight from Discord messages and didn't adjust it back. This is what happens when you copy text from Discord into Google Docs.
Yep, and you're in dark mode at least. So.
And you're in dark mode, yeah. Obviously, due to the fact that this is Minecraft and I'm accused of cheating, people can just say that data doesn't matter because he could have only turned on his cheats recently.
Exactly.
Yeah. There you go. But that's making an assumption and is unfair when talking about collecting unbiased data.
That is also true, but at the same time, both of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, both can be true at the exact same time. The fact is, I got my best and luckiest runs I've ever had while streaming from my PB. I had plenty of runs on my stream on and off, where I traded tons of gold for no pearls. It's just that during this 263 trade sample, I did not. I also started in second gear, so I could get that 5.51 in Dragster. Again, although this doesn't affect the actual data, only the sample size, there's also another around 40 gold, I believe, that was traded, but accounted for in the data due to lack of seeing what was traded for. Although we don't know if these trades were pearls or not. The fact of the matter is, if they were pearls, we would probably know, and if I hadn't received pearls prior to these final trades, we would definitely know that they are. Which violates one of the only rules that is mentioned in binomial distribution. For identical trials, probability of success must be the same for each trial. In this case, the probability of success is not technically the same for each trial, even though it may seem like it, because you are more likely to notice and collect pearl trades than you are to notice and collect non-pearl trades. The probability of collected success actually varies depending on the situation, meaning if you take each time I stop to trade with piglins as a separate data collection point at 21 different times, The gold that is unaccounted for is likely to not pearls, but it is very unlikely that pearls go unaccounted for. On top of that, one of the other keys to binomial distribution is that the outcome of one trial does not affect the outcome of the other, which in this case is up for debate whether that is true or not. If you look at
this doesn't matter because he's trying to argue statistics when it was proved he was cheating. So trying to dispute this stuff doesn't matter. Anyways, let's scroll down. Is there anything else?
Misuse of data.
Yeah.
All right. Now we can assume that with sampling bias taken into account and everything else...
Slightly above that. That's a very Zango cop-out.
This one?
Yeah.
On top of all of that, we're talking about Minecraft and Java. Everything is much more complicated than just strictly 5%. There's glitches, there's things dependent on the world, there's things that can be corrupted, there's operating system issues, and plenty of other things that could, again, fall under the probability of success must be the same caveat of binomial distribution. But again, these things are unlikely, and even more unlikely when talking about something as specific as pearl trades.
So he's just saying, I didn't cheat, the game just glitched. I wasn't looking at porn. My pants, it just popped up and my pants fell down.
That's like literally the that's literally the argument that like H3H3 made when he watched Gokunaru's video and he saw like Gokunaru's search terms. He's like, well, someone was on this laptop. I didn't search it. Someone must have.
Yep.
Literally the same argument. Misuse of data. Now we can assume, with sampling bias taken into account and everything else, that it's still very, very unlikely that the pearl trades were this lucky. Just much more likely than 1 in 40 billion. Even if it's 1 in a million, that's still extremely unlikely. However, the likelihood of an event occurring is not the likelihood of someone cheating. Not really, but also
no.
It can show very suspicious things that can point to cheating.
Indeed.
Yeah. It's extremely suspicious that Dream got this sort of luck that is literally, like, luckier than is statistically possible.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where I see a lot of people getting very confused. If the likelihood of an event happening is 1 in a million, that doesn't mean there's a 99.9999% chance that they were cheating for that event to happen. This is seen in this example. As writing this, I went into XQC's most recent livestream and his most recent pearl trades. In this completely randomly selected sample, in a 31 or less trade period, XQC got 33 pearls, which at minimum is 5 pearl trades, and on average would be at least 6. Now, if my calculations are correct, using the same binomial distribution method used against me, this has a 0.29647541% chance with 6 pearl trades. You get the point.
Yeah.
A low chance.
Yeah. But it was confirmed that Dream was cheating, so...
It was confirmed that Dream is cheating, and this is a very, very small, size.
Yeah.
Way too small. The sample size used against Dream is much bigger.
Yep.
Final conclusion. The only reason that I'm even taking the time to write up this document is because I care about the speedrun community. Do you, though? Do you?
Does he really?
Does he really care?
He puts Speedrunner on all his manhunt videos when they aren't speedruns in the slightest.
Yeah, they are not speedruns in the slightest. They're literally just manhunt.
Yep.
I came in as an outsider, and obviously there's a lot of people that dislike me because of my community, or my stands, or my attitude, or whatever else. I'm sure a lot of these people would even still recognize that I've had a positive impact on the community. Again, more ego stroking.
Yep, ego stroking thing.
And that I've tried to contribute in countless ways, whether it be promoting top runners, assisting the mod team, or just bringing attention to speedrunning itself. Now, there's some people that, even if I'm 1000% proven innocent, will still say I'm a cheater because it fits their narrative.
But he wasn't proven innocent. He was proven to have cheated.
He was proven guilty. Yeah. Regardless of that, my assumption about everything is that it's just a very unlikely occurrence that is much more likely than the data that is being presented makes it seem, due to sampling bias and other factors. I spoke with a Minecraft dev about it for quite a long time, and the dev pretty much came to that same conclusion. What Minecraft dev?
Yeah, what Minecraft dev?
That's a nice argument, Senator. Would you mind backing it up with a source?
And even if he was, I'm sure the Minecraft dev didn't put too much thought into it. Like, I don't know. I don't get paid enough to I don't get paid to answer your questions, so I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
Why would
Literally, the Minecraft devs, yeah, they don't care about the game as much as speedrunners do, or like sweaty
yeah.
PvPers do.
Yep.
They just want to make a game. They don't care. I'm sure I'll probably find myself talking to other developers and staffers as well. The sad thing is that I'm definitely not an expert in statistics, so it is much harder for me to defend myself than if I was. American education. So he puts blame on the American education system for his cheating.
Yep.
As for what I would suggest the mod team to do, I would suggest that they take stuff like this extremely seriously and decide to hold offline runs and even online runs to a much higher level of scrutiny. Well, they started that after you cheated.
Yep. After you got so close to them that you cheated.
Mm-hmm. Before all of this, I almost decided to stop running due to the fact that I recognized there's a high likelihood that top runs may be fake or cheated, and that really discouraged me. But I was encouraged when mods caught a few top submitted runs for being fake. This is provable again with messages with the mod team. Okay, what messages?
Where are the messages?
Okay, can you show them?
Yeah, can we see those messages?
I've seen some good progress on the speedrun client, and I'm fully in support of that, and I used to suggest the server all the time. I want speedrunning to be free of cheaters. Well, clearly not, because he is a cheater.
No, they want him to be free of other cheaters so he can have the top spot.
Yep. And I think knowing that, it is what makes it enjoyable for people that do run. That being said, I'm complacent with the mods, removing my 1.16 run and me stopping running until the speedrun client is fully fleshed out and developed, as again, I think having trust that top runners are not cheaters is what makes speedrunning enjoyable, and I don't want to take that away from anyone. I already have a successful career, and I have a lot of fun speedrunning myself, and it's upsetting that this happened in the first place. However, due to the fact that I'm not a math expert, I have no real way of proving my innocence through statistics. Because he's not innocent.
Yep.
This same scenario may have happened before, or may happen in the future hundreds of times, but we probably wouldn't ever see it because it's not Dream speedrunning, and they don't have hundreds of thousands of eyes on them.
That is true, but that just means they were able to catch you cheating because you had those eyes. What if no one had those eyes and you still cheated, Dream?
Yeah, exactly. What then? You know? And plenty of people that aren't as popular as Dream still get caught for speedrunning.
Yep. Cheating and speedrunning.
Cheating and speedrunning. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I honestly don't care at all about 1.16, then why would you cheat in it?
Yeah.
I never thought I would get the time I got, and I only wanted to get a single run to submit to the 1.16 leaderboard before I tried what I was actually passionate
Why would
about.
you want that if you didn't care?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you want a good time to submit to 1.16 if you didn't care about the category at all? It makes no sense. I've been left a little in the dark when it comes to the process behind the scenes. Not really, no. They put all of their math in the document.
Yeah.
But I haven't really heard anything good come from the mods, and some of them definitely don't like me at all. So I'm not really expecting anything good to be announced in my favor. I decided to write this instead of making a video, because even though it will probably be spread a little bit, it's not going to be seen by millions of people who could then bring hate towards the people who are leveling these accusations, as I believe that most of them have good intentions, even though I know that some of them definitely don't. However, depending on how annoying things get, I may be forced to make a video going over things I said here and a lot of other things. Time will tell with that, though. That's all there really is to say, I guess, and that's my perspective.
All right. And in response to this, they published a video version of it, more or less. Yes. And in this video version, if we go next. Wait, no, you can. We already talked about this. I didn't read that doc, so just continue skipping forward.
Yeah.
Skip forward. Skip forward again. No, we don't need to watch this.
Okay.
And we don't need. Well, that's just a link. I can get that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, scuff stream everyone as usual.
Scuffed stream. Very scuffed stream.
Give me a second here.
So, chat, how have you guys been enjoying the stream? You liking it?
There you go. That's the response. All right. In response to the video, now he
Yes.
made this. He made a video, so, and we're gonna watch it. He
All right.
deleted this video, by the way, but I would put it at like 1.5 speed.
Yeah, okay, sounds pretty good. Okay, 1.5 speed.
Probability. Probability is the measurement of how likely something is to happen. Recently, one of my speedruns that I did on Twitch has been analyzed by the speedrun.com volunteer mod team,
And just
and
full
it's
screen
probable
it.
to a degree that is nearly
Alright.
impossible. So lucky, in fact, that they came to the mathematical conclusion that it had 1 in 7.5 trillion odds of happening. So they put out a video and
Or
they modeled
cheating,
the
which he was.
and this
Yeah.
is my response.
He never
Now, I'm not sure if you realize how big of a
names
deal
who
it is,
these
but that is
sources are.
impossible. You have better odds of winning the
That's a
lottery
nice
than
argument,
So
Senator.
since this
Why don't you
mathematical
back it up with a
calculation, I'm
source?
insistent that there's nothing I can possibly say or do to refute
Except
the
one
fact.
person.
Now, every speedrun that I've ever uploaded on my YouTube channel is still verified and still on the leaderboards, including a 6th place run in 1.15, but the run that I did on my Twitch on 1.16 is no longer on it. Now, I plan on going over in detail each of these points later, but I want to summarize
Remember,
some
he-
right at the top. One, the only speedrun that was
oh,
unverified
that's
was
for
the 5th place
something
run
later.
that I did on a stream a couple
Okay.
months ago, and all of the world record videos that I posted are still verified. One of the mods said, quote, "We have no reason to believe that any of the 1.15 runs are cheated." Two, the odds are wrong. I hired a professional statistician with a PhD that is an active
Was it?
physicist right now.
Yeah?
He's lying here because it came out that he just hired a student, like a grad student.
Oh! Well, there you go. So yeah, that grad student probably got a couple things wrong.
Yep.
I'll be going over parts of that analysis today. 3, I did not delete any evidence, and I was doing everything I was asked to by the mods. And I actually have one of the mods on later to come and confirm that. And 4, not all of my 1.16 live streams were used for the data. Only the 6 luckiest ones were. I had 5 other
Yeah,
streams,
which
Because
can
that's
easily
what-
say that's when he started cheating.
Yep, because that's when he started cheating.
but they had below average luck and were not included in their analysis. I had the expert include these streams in a much smaller, separate analysis, which concluded that with these 11 streams included, the data shows, quote, "no statistically significant evidence that Dream was modifying the probabilities." So now that we got the misconception
Except
What? Quote from
was.
what?
From the grad student.
Okay.
I'm not that good at math, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this may not be either, so I found somebody who is amazing at math and specializes in probability to help get to the bottom of it. Bill Nye, the science guy. Yes, you heard me right. Okay.
That's a fucking leafy joke right there.
Professor with a
That
PhD
is a
that
leafy
graduated from
level
Harvard.
joke.
He's actually a practicing astrophysicist that is an expert in
No,
statistics
that's a
and
lie.
astrophysics.
This is all a lie. He was just a student,
Yep, it's just a
and he
student.
never named who he was.
Probably because that student would end up getting a lot of hate if he did.
He insisted that if he was going to do this analysis, then I must agree to release his findings regardless of if they made me look good or they made me look bad. Knowing that I'm innocent, I agreed. The mod team is a group of respectable people, but they're also young and a group of volunteers, so it's hard to fault them for making mistakes when compared to a full-time professional with a specific expertise.
So he's essentially just like, so he's essentially doubting them because, oh, they're young, even though they have
Yeah.
way more compelling evidence than Dream does.
Yep.
After extensive research into the mod's math and the logic and reasoning behind this math, the expert found that the math was off.
But how was it off when it was proven that Dream was
In the description of
cheating?
this video, there's a link to a 19-page report written by this expert.
Exactly.
Extremely detailed into exactly what they got wrong and why. I won't be going over it entirely in this video, but for the people more interested in the math, it's linked in the description. I will be going over what I think are the most important parts, though. First of all, the math was off by at least 7.4998 trillion, and the original number was 7.5 trillion. And like I mentioned earlier, this is a huge number, so it's also a huge number to be off by. On the screen right now is a representation of how far they were off by. Again, I'm sure the mods did their best, but when talking about someone's character and their image, making mistakes as big as this can be really damaging. After coming to an estimate of a new probability, the expert said this, quote, "Even in the worst case, the probabilities are not so extreme as to rule out any chance that Dream used the unmodified probabilities." The expert
Barely
also
an
said, quote,
expert,
"If you ask
remember.
what is a
Barely an expert.
Remember, it was just a student, and Dream lied here.
Yep.
probability that anyone playing Minecraft has luck as good as Dream did during these 11 streams, then the odds are very high. Dream's luck can be described not in terms of unusual success in the game, but that out of all of the Minecraft players, it was him who got this lucky, and he got this lucky while live streaming. But remember, this could not be counted against him, because he was investigated precisely because he got very lucky.
Exactly. That's exactly why he was investigated. Because he got way too lucky.
He could be and because he got too, he was investigated by that. So therefore, that doesn't make sense.
That's not a point against the moderators. That's a point for the moderators.
Yes, exactly.
where I gave 100 random people 2 options on what the number they talked about meant. Option 1, the odds of the top 1,000 speedrunner on video or stream getting the luck that I got, or option 2, the odds of anyone doing piglin trades in Minecraft getting the luck that I got. Every single person out of the 100 said option 2. They, and probably you watching this based on the survey, figured that the mods presented the odds of this happening to anyone while trading with piglins. They didn't think that this was the odds of this happening to someone while speedrunning, being a top 1,000 speedrunner on stream or video. As a good example, pick a number between 1 and 10. Go ahead, right now, pause, pick a number between 1 and 10. You had a 10%
No,
chance
I'm not
of
gonna
picking the
do
number
that.
7 just then. Now, out of the millions of people watching this, there's probably quite a lot of you that picked that number, but there may only be a few thousand that are recording, but also picked the number 7. And there may even be fewer of you that were doing a reaction to this or were live and also picked the number 7. That doesn't change the odds of you picking the number 7, it's still about 10%, but the odds of you being live and picking the number 7, now we're talking about 0.0001% or somewhere around there. Now, you can see why it might be misleading to say streamer had 0.0001% of getting this lucky.
Yeah, what were you saying, Pineapple?
But it doesn't change the fact that you had a 10% chance of getting that number, regardless of if you were
Yeah,
streaming.
but it was
And the
still
worst thing is
outrageous. It was still a 1 in 75 billion chance based on the loot table. That doesn't take into account the fact that he was streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And streaming for all of them.
Yeah,
So-
he was streaming for all of that. So yeah, the evidence was literally right
Remember,
there.
anything he says, remember, he cheated. And he admitted to cheating. Only he tries to pass it off as he didn't know.
Yep.
Which he conveniently gave himself that out earlier.
Consider, for example, as a Minecraft player, then a perfect run, 2 out of 2 Ender Pearl trades and 7 out of 7 Blaze Rod drops, probably occurs multiple times an hour. Considering all Minecraft worlds ever played and the multitude of ways in which luck plays a role, even 1 in a trillion events happen daily. But that's not even getting into their actual math. That's just about how they presented it. The first thing that's wrong is that they did not correctly account for trade stopping. Basically, when you trade with a piglin, you trade until you reach enough Ender Pearls to then leave and go to the stronghold. When you get enough Ender Pearls, you immediately stop trading and leave other uncompleted trades. This is a quote from the
Yeah,
report.
and?
Quote, if the last barter in a sequence is always an Ender Pearl because then the speedrunner leaves, then it simply cannot be claimed that all barters are fully independent and identical. Without identical independent barters, the binomial model is inappropriate. In order to prove that the trade stopping was important, the expert ran a simulation over 1 million times that shows that his model is far more accurate to how trading actually works than the model used in the report. Quote, the barter stopping simulation does indeed show that there are fewer barters required to get the desired number of Ender Pearls if you end immediately after an Ender Pearl.
But
It also
he
helps explain why
cheated to increase the drops of Ender Pearls, so this means nothing.
Yep.
Dream's bartering outcomes seem unbalanced with respect to Ender Pearls. They don't account for the fact that Ender Pearls are special because they are the goal of bartering. Accounting for this problem makes the odds extremely more likely. The expert says that, quote, this model has objectively a higher fidelity and thus a more accurate estimate of Dream's odds. However, another thing that's been used against me is that when comparing this lucky streak to Illumina or another popular runner, my streak of runs looks much luckier than, say, a streak of lucky runs they had.
Because it was. Because
It
he
was.
cheated.
From the
Yeah,
expert. Quote,
exactly.
the low probability of Dream's runs and that Dream performed much better than other speedrunners should not be considered as independent pieces of evidence. They both indicate the same thing. Any lucky speedrunner, chosen because they look lucky, will look lucky when compared to other speedrunners. Not to mention that a lot of speedrunners...
Yes, but he looks too lucky compared to other speedrunners.
Yeah, he looks like significantly luckier than other speedrunners. It'd be one thing if he was like, you know, slightly luckier. It'd be like, okay, whatever. No, but he's like significantly luckier than all the
Yep.
other speedrunners. Like,
Yep.
like you can literally see in the graph right here. It's like
It's
way
not
up
a
here.
comparison. Like, there's no comparison.
There is actually no comparison whatsoever.
including a lot of the top 5 times. And these runs are verified, despite not being able to look into their RNG at all. Another thing that the mods got wrong were a few of the bias corrections. The mods claimed that they biased everything in my favor, and that the number they came up with was the lowest possible probability in my favor. One thing that they mentioned in their investigation is that they came up with the number 10 for the number of potential targets for a cheater to change. They also said that this was a generous exaggeration, as they could only think of a few. This confused me, so I asked them for a list. When I asked for the list of the 10 that they were referring to, they were unable to provide one, and they inferred that it was arbitrarily chosen. So I decided to come up with a list myself of all the possible targets that a cheater would try and cheat in speedrunning that have similar importance to blaze rods. I was able to come up with a detailed list of 37 different RNG targets that I believed were very comparable to blaze rods. I shared this list with a few speedrunning experts, including Illumina and Benex, and they seemed to agree that the 37 I listed were fair, and incredibly more accurate than the
Why is he trying to go on a tangent about all these other other ways to cheat?
So he can, once again, to call into question the methodology used by speedrun.com to try and prove his point that they're inaccurate.
Even though they were like,
Remember,
yeah.
Dream has cheated here. He knows he's cheated here. So what he's trying to do is to call into question the accuracy of their data.
Yep.
A recurring theme throughout the document. They would say a number and claim that the number was the most favorable number possible for me, and then use it in calculations, and then when me, other runners, or the expert would look into it, it would turn out that the number that they claimed was the best possible number in my favor was so far from it that it usually was actually the worst possible number against me. Another example of this is that they claimed that the formula they used would find the lowest possible odds in my favor, but the expert tested their formula on their own example of coin flips, and found that their lower bound, or what they claimed to be the lowest possible odds in my favor, were actually twice as high as the actual odds of a coin flip streak, meaning the formula they
Like I
used
said, we're
was
gonna
right,
get to the
and it's
juicy
only
part
because
in a
of why we're
second.
talking about lower
Oh,
odds.
yeah.
Just
In the report, the expert says, quote, the claim that the p-values given in the MST report are as
There's a
favorable as
reason we
possible
put this
is
on
not
1.5 speed.
the biggest problem that I have with this is that the way that the mods document was written and presented in the video made me look as guilty as possible, while also putting into the watcher's mind that not only are these numbers right, but they are the best possible scenario for me.
Yeah, but this video is putting into the watcher's mind that that the moderators are completely wrong and don't know what they're talking about, and Dream's right. They're-
Yeah, this video is also biased.
Yep.
Yeah, so like he's trying to make the argument of bias, but this video is also extremely biased.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best possible scenario for me. And they are already way less than what the mods put. Obviously, the way that they phrased it makes me look really guilty, and it was something that they didn't even need to do because the numbers look bad already. One thing that he says at the beginning that I think is notable in his report is that he says, quote, probability calculations are hard. There may not be one right way to do something. It is easy to violate some hidden or unknown assumption. What I take away from this is that when talking about a series of events and trying to calculate the probability of them happening, it's really complicated, and different methods are constantly debated in statistics. And that's the reason why a lot of times statistics are thrown out in actual court, because they can be misleading and lead to false convictions off of faulty statistics, even on accident. Probability is extremely complicated, and there are tens of thousands of things that you have to take into account when coming up with an accurate representation of probability, especially on a
Indeed, but they came up with
yeah.
an accurate one because he came to the conclusion that he was cheating. So.
Yeah, because with odds like that are so far above everybody else, there's no other conclusion that Dream was cheating, because odds like that are like odds like that are just insane.
Indeed, they are.
Although the analysis done by the expert shows that the odds are much lower than the odds of the mod presented, this was done in about a week, and I'm sure that there's a lot of other ways that the data can be interpreted and corrected to make it even more accurate. The expert even mentioned at the end of the document there are possible corrections that can be applied that would reasonably bring the number down to 1 in a million or even lower. As much as I would love to debate math,
then why didn't he apply them?
Why? Yeah, why didn't you apply them?
Yeah. Like, the whole thing was clearly a propaganda piece for Dream, so why didn't he apply them? And the reason why he didn't apply them is because it would make it look unreliable.
Yep.
Hey, here's what an expert said.
But by leaving that line in there,
so far,
it gives the plausibility.
As an example, when you create a Minecraft world, that world has a random number created with it, the seed. That random number determines how your Minecraft world looks. That means that each different Minecraft world you've created had a 1 in 281 trillion chance of being that world. It gets even crazier when you start to combine the odds together. If you created 2 Minecraft worlds, the odds of you getting the first world and then the second world are so low that you cannot even calculate them on 99% of calculations.
Okay, and how is this relevant to the fact that you cheated?
No one can tell you otherwise. But again, that's misleading, but it's still true. Each individual seed has no significant importance, and you're going to get a Minecraft world no matter what. So it's actually not that significant. But the way that I phrased it made it seem significant because of how rare it is. Another different way that odds can be misleading is with the lottery. The odds of you winning the lottery may be 1 in 100 million, but with 100 million people buying lottery tickets, someone probably won. And surprisingly, there's actually...
Ironically, he's talking about misleading, but then he himself is being extremely misleading in this video.
Indeed, he is.
Someone will be the luckiest player in Minecraft, and someone will be the unluckiest player in Minecraft. Might be you, who knows? But the chances are that there are probably thousands of players that have
but the odds
or more piglin trading luck without even realizing it. So
yeah, but the odds of Dream getting exactly what he did are much higher than winning the lottery.
Yeah.
Rather, much lower than winning the lottery, actually.
Yeah, much lower than winning the lottery. The numbers are way higher, is what he meant to say.
Yeah.
Now that we've established that numbers can be misleading and talked about where the mods went wrong with their analysis according to a statistical expert, I want to move a little bit off the numbers. Let's talk a little bit about...
Not an expert, a student.
In GeoSquare's video, he says this.
He has Dream for his mods folder specifically, so we can check for any modification.
Alright, slow it down to just 1.25 now, because this is because we're no longer talking about numbers.
Okay.
He deletes the contents of his mods folder pretty regularly.
That obviously makes me seem very suspicious, except for the fact that I didn't ever say that. I provided the mods with every file they ever asked for, and I never said that I regularly delete the contents of my mod folder.
Sure you did.
Sure.
The verification team was disorganized and never even asked me anything involving my mod folder until 10 days after the investigation started. They asked me if I had changed it since then, and I said of course, because almost everyone changes their mods depending on what version they're using. They asked me for a list of the mods I used, and I provided a list. I did mention at another time that I had deleted specifically my 1.16 mod config folder because I didn't plan on speedrunning 1.16 anymore, but it was completely unrelated, and it was after the mods had already said that they didn't need the folder, and that a list of the mods would suffice. GeoSquare admitted this mistake.
It's convenient that he says he deleted the folder, you know, right after people start accusing him of cheating in that version of the game.
Yep, it's also convenient he deleted the mod list, so...
Yeah, that's very convenient.
A small correction in the description, but I feel like that was a much bigger mistake than he made.
Pause it.
Yeah?
He says, Dream is giving him credit for correcting something, and then shows the description of the video from before. It says, I misinterpreted what Dream said here while writing the script. Apparently he does not delete...
He does not delete mod folders regularly. What we have were multiple mod profiles. So he said he does not delete mod folders regularly, but then he says he deletes them here.
Yeah.
Very
also, give me a second.
Yes.
Give me a second here. This changes again on the original video.
Yeah? What did they?
Yeah,
what
just
did
give me a second. It was once again updated to be. It's now updated to be. I misinterpreted what Dream said. Apparently, does not delete his mods folder regularly. Dream cuts off part of this, and during the investigation, and he ended up deleting the specific 1.16 speedrun profile because he was frustrated with the investigation. Source Dream. Dream doesn't attempt to dispute this. If this was false, Dream doesn't care to dispute the slander. He just doesn't show the whole thing.
He just doesn't show the whole thing. That is like I said, convenient.
Because if this was, because if this isn't true, this is pure libel. In the highest degree.
Yeah. Like, holy cow.
But he instead of trying to dispute this and say, "Oh, the mod team are biased against me. Here you go." He then just cuts it off. So.
Yeah.
How many people actually would have read the description and seen this correction? At this point, millions of people had already heard this mistake and were unlikely to see this very small correction. And a lot of people hung on to that as me destroying
this correction makes it seem worse, but you didn't show it all.
Clarify, this is Wills, one of the official speedrun moderators.
As a moderator who has done 99% of the communication between Dream, I can confirm there's absolutely no hesitation to provide us what was needed. And Dream was never uncooperative during the investigation process as far as we know.
Because if he wasn't cooperative,
then that would make him
look bad.
Yeah, exactly. It would make him look even worse.
Minecraft to increase your luck. You can do it with a data pack, you can do it with a mod, you can do it by editing your version's jar file. Shortly after my stream ended the day that I had my good run, I actually uploaded my world file to Google Drive, almost immediately. You can see when it was uploaded, and you can see when any of the files within it were edited. This is all in the metadata of the file. This folder contains the data packs folder and also contains the startup.
And notice he talks up the one person who seemingly kisses his ass.
Within the data packs folder, you can confirm that there's no data packs and that no data packs were deleted because it was not modified after the world was created. You can also see in the startup log that the only 2 mods loaded were allowed mods and that there were no custom mods loaded. I don't expect you to trust me.
Except that wasn't true, as he would admit.
Yep.
Tutorial to download it and how to see it for yourself in the description. On top of that, I was also able to upload my jar file that has been untouched, both with modification dates showing that they were not changed or deleted after the run. Now, the mods never asked me for this file, so I only uploaded it recently, but the modification dates are still there. With this, it can be...
So you uploaded it recently?
Yeah, recently, not, the one from at the time of the investigation.
Yeah.
Not modify the game in any of the ways that were speculated. Although, of course, it's never impossible and you can always find a way to do something if you want to. The most obvious ways to do this were those. So, the first thing that I want to say before going into more specific subjects is to please not send hate to anyone involved. I already apologized on Twitter because I had said some rude things to the mods after the video was released, and I really don't want to send hate to anybody. I responded incredibly immaturely at first because I was angry, and I really do regret my response. But I would think that the average person being falsely publicly accused might react in a similar way. I don't know. I'm very...
Yeah, and that's an immature way to react. You don't... When you're being accused of something that attacks your character like this, you don't respond in a knee-jerk way. You take your time and then respond professionally.
Or don't respond at all if you know you can just brush it off.
Exactly.
It just really set me off at first. But now that that's out of the way, in the video, they used the logs that I mentioned before.
Which honestly you very well could have.
Loaded, but they didn't mention that it showed that nothing else was loaded. They also alluded to the fact
But something else was loaded though, Dream, and you know this.
Yes.
You admit this later.
Actually, I would have much preferred using Optifine, where you can't use mods. And I did, until they...
Wait, he says Optifine, where you can't use mods. You absolutely can use mods with Optifine.
Yep, you can. But I think this is a misspeaking. It's just that Fabric is it's just that Fabric can load different mods other than Sodium.
Yeah.
Optifine from speedruns and told people to use Fabric instead. So I switched to Fabric because I had to, and then I was called suspicious because of it. You can actually tell that I would have preferred to stay on Optifine because I ran 1.15 live shortly after these runs, where you can actually use Optifine, and I was using Optifine, not Fabric. Matter of fact, in one of those 1.15 runs during that stream, I almost broke the world record on a version that doesn't have piglin trays.
Ego stroking.
Yeah. To add mods. So I don't think that the way this was phrased in the video is a fair way to put it. But another thing is that Geosquare said in the video that Fabric API was a mod creation tool.
The Fabric API, a mod creation tool.
Which is just
yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
It's a required mod for almost every single mod in Fabric. So much so that a lot of people think that you need it for every mod. And I was actually asked by the mods if I thought that. But they didn't mention that in the video. And yet again, they use this to make me look suspicious. He also uses the logs and shows them on screen as proof that I had Fabric API loaded. But again, he doesn't mention that it doesn't show any other mods loaded. And that's called cherry picking.
Yeah, because you were able to... Somehow, Dream was able to make it show so that his other mods didn't show up.
Yeah.
Remember, Dream confessed to cheating later, so him saying, "Oh, it's not showing up, therefore I'm innocent here," doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Support your claim as evidence, but ignoring any facts that go against your claim. If they were being completely fair, he should have presented the fact that this log showed that there was no other mods. But it would weaken their argument, so they didn't mention it. And this is a recurring theme throughout the video. He says a lot of things that might be partially true, but says them in a very misleading way that would make a reasonable person think that I look guilty. I'm sure there's a chance that one of you or your friends saw that video and went, "Wow, Dream deleted evidence because he's guilty." And that's my
Yes,
That's
that's
exactly what he
exactly
did.
Don't blame them
Yo
that
me
much
soda.
because they're a team of volunteers, mostly consisted of young people, and everybody is bound to make mistakes, especially when you're younger, and including me. But when you're calling into question someone's character, you really have to be careful what you say. The official owners and admins of Speedrun.com,
And they were
which
careful.
run the leaderboard, made a statement that the video was, quote, lacking in the level of objectivity we hope to see around communications by the game moderation team to the community, which I completely agree with. I wish that the mods would have remained more neutral and just presented the facts because that's their job as moderators. And I just want to say here that at this point, I don't care if my run is verified, and I'm not resubmitting or appealing the fact that it wasn't. As much as I may disagree with it,
Then why are you making this video?
I wasn't even planning on submitting any 1.16 runs because I was just playing for practice and for fun. I mean, I was streaming on my Twitch, and that's why I didn't upload any 1.16 runs to my YouTube channel. Regardless of the fact that the 7.5 trillion odds are incorrect,
I don't think he ever uploaded regular runs to his YouTube channel. I could be
did.
wrong, but
He
oh,
did.
he did?
Yeah, he uploaded like a
So,
couple,
for that reason, I understand
but they aren't
completely
nearly as popular as his manhunt videos.
I'm upset that the video was made and how it was made, and that there's a lot of people that will probably believe that I cheated and never get to see this video countering it, but I don't believe that the mods were being intentionally malicious. I believe that the reason this was handled poorly can just be attributed to the fact that I have a huge channel, and they're not used to dealing with that, so they obviously did quite a few things differently than they usually would. Now that I've pretty much talked about proving every possible way that I can about why I didn't cheat, I want to talk about something a little bit more
Except
serious,
you did
which is
cheat.
bias.
Yeah.
And again, even though I'm
And he
expressing
admitted
this,
it.
I don't send any hate to anybody, and I believe that the mod team is full of very respectable, honest people. But I made some claims
He
early on
just
that I
like
targeted-
insulted them for calling them like young and inexperienced, and now he's like trying to kiss their butt to try and get back in their good graces.
Yep.
Like,
It's him trying to talk down to them. Like, "Oh, I'm so much better than you." Oh, it was because I am so much bigger than you that you were intimidated. But that's okay. I'm just like you. So
yeah, exactly.
and that I thought that the mod team was biased, and a lot of people were upset with that because they couldn't see how they could be biased. I just want to share my point of view because from my perspective,
He was literally saying the whole time that the mod team was biased.
The Speedrun.com Minecraft Bedrock Edition team, which is a similar team to the one who worked on this, but for Bedrock Edition, completely banned me from ever submitting an official run well before this happened, without giving a single reason why. Other than that, they don't like me, and I have never.
You
even
have a
played
history
Minecraft
of
Bedrock
cheating.
Edition or done a single speedrun on that game, but I'm still banned, and I have yet to be told why. Obviously, this didn't give me as much
Because you have a
confidence as
history of
Java Edition
cheating.
fair treatment.
Yep.
However, I don't think that the actions of the Bedrock team reflect on the intentions of the Java team. Another thing, though, is that while
then why bring it up if you don't think it reflects on the Java team?
Yeah, it literally is not. This is literally Zango's method of arguments. Just bring up completely unrelated things, so that way you just tire people out into like saying, okay, whatever, let's just move on.
1.16. A lot of the official speedrun verifiers were saying incredibly disrespectful things about me, about my fans, and essentially harassing me, which obviously led to me saying some things that I regret saying, but I'm sure that anyone can understand why that would be frustrating. Before all this, I tried to be extremely friendly
Appealing
with
to
the
his
audience, and I
fans
helped many
there.
shooters.
Yep.
There's actually a point a few months ago where
His
I was in a call with a bunch
stands.
of them doing basically a PowerPoint presentation with proof that the world loading screen can prove one of the top runs is fake, and that run ended up getting unverified because of it. So I'm definitely no opponent to getting rid of cheaters from leaderboards, and I do my best to help where I can.
Because
But
that's
during the
not
investigation,
that's not the way he cheated. He didn't cheat using a set
Yeah.
seed. He cheated using higher odds.
Yep.
was really stressed about it because I was almost completely left in the dark and I didn't know what was happening. And everything that I did here didn't really make me feel super optimistic about them doing a good job. One of the mods, who asked me not to name them, frequently said things that led to me having doubts about the investigation. Quote, everyone was still discussing whether the decision was right.
Well, he could just be making this up.
Also, quote, they were just yelling at each
Yeah.
other to finish faster. That same mod told me after the results were released.
That's a
quote,
nice
"The
argument,
record, I don't
Senator.
believe
Why
it
don't you back it up with a source?
Yeah, sure. Anonymous sources exist, but this isn't about someone whistleblowing about like some serious allegations. It's cheating in a block game.
Exactly. It's just cheating in a block game. Like, it's not a big enough deal to where someone would need to make themselves anonymous so that the person being accused wouldn't go after them.
Yeah, exactly. Or rather, the person, their fellow people around them wouldn't go after them.
Yeah.
anyone could understand why it would be reasonable to doubt.
I mean, one of them was open enough to say talking with Dream.
Yeah.
And came on this video.
And this isn't really important to the math, but it's definitely important to how the math is interpreted. If the mod team was biased against me, they would be more likely to make mistakes against me, like misquoting me. Or
no, if someone was biased against you, they'd look for at least when it comes to me, if I was against someone, I would look meticulously to find all the dirt I could and create and from it build a complete picture.
That is the best way to do it.
No, others don't do it that way. But they did put all that effort into doing all that math. So I don't think they were just trying to find the cheapest things against them.
They were legitimately trying to figure out whether or not Dream cheated. And as it turns out, by his own admission, yes, he cheated.
Yep.
Small details wouldn't matter as much to them, even if they wouldn't do it on purpose, which I'm sure they would. As much as that sucks for me, and I wish that some members in the speedrun community looked at me differently, it is what it is. Before this whole thing went down, I had a lot of respect for the mod team, and I really hope that even though I'm not happy right now, I can regain all of that respect for them, and I hope that the same goes for me, because I said some dumb things too, because the community is an amazing place, and like I said,
he's being really passive-aggressive here.
He is.
They didn't ban me or remove any of my other runs or do anything super unreasonable out of bias like the Bedrock mod team did. I think if they had removed my other runs or banned me, that would have been very biased, but I don't think that what they actually did was biased. And like I said, I do believe that they tried to do their best to come to a fair decision. After reading the document myself, I was surprised and it seemed like a very good job. The only reason I was insistent on the math being wrong is because I know that I didn't cheat. And I also know that
but you did
is
cheat.
just too unlikely to
yeah, he cheated.
So I could assume that the math was off. Again, I don't care at all about my speedrun. I care more about defending my character than defending a dumb leaderboard position. When I joined Minecraft speedrunning, I didn't even submit any of my runs.
Well, then why'd you make this video then?
Yeah.
If you really wanted to defend your character, you would have said absolutely nothing when the investigation was going on, because the videos that he was most popular for weren't even real speedruns.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hey, Gregonate. That's a new viewer. Welcome to this stream where we're talking about Minecraft YouTubers.
Yes, welcome to this new stream.
That I ended up doing it. I was mostly practicing for Manhunt because I wanted to try and challenge myself even more. Now, Matthew, which is the most qualified speedrun mod who wrote a lot of the paper, said in the Discord chat after the video was uploaded, quote, "Look, at worst, Dream did mild cheat at block game fast. Make of that what you will." Obviously,
yeah, but he broke the rules. Cheating's against the
I
rules.
just don't think that the mods realize that, to me, it's much deeper than a leaderboard position. I have an amazing community. And
well, then why cheat to go for a leaderboard position then?
And it's fun. I get less viewers on my record videos than I do on my normal videos, and I get less views on my speedrun Twitch streams than my normal Twitch streams. I also didn't even upload a single one of the speedruns that were investigated onto any of my channels, not even highlights. Or So
and
again, to me, I care much more about my character than a leaderboard.
You probably wanted the number rather than that.
Yeah.
From one of the Minecraft developers, quote, "Just going off of chances is quite dumb." Also, quote, "A lot of speedrunning Minecraft is RNG, or at least speedrunning until you get good RNG." Then he went on to say,
but the thing is, RNG doesn't actually... randomness in video games doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, it's like it's based
with
on...
all there's, in fact, computers can't handle random. Because they literally can either be on or be off. That's the nature of binary.
Yeah.
Because of that, to simulate randomness, they tie things to the environment, especially in Minecraft.
Yeah. Either the environment or your inputs.
Really should consider a better process. Like you can
Which is why a lot of RNG tasks have a lot of like pausing.
I've suggested many times, and a long time ago I even offered to try and help.
Yeah, because people have found ways to manipulate it.
Exactly.
It would be really hard to find a developer to do it. So, as much as I could suggest it, they never were able to do it. You may have noticed that this video.
In Blaze Rods and Ender Pearl trades are directly tied to environmental factors that make them exactly 5% or exactly how much percent Blaze Rods are.
Yep.
So Dream's arguments of glitchiness do not stand.
Exactly.
This video and donating it to the mods in order for them to develop a speedrunning client. That way there will be less cheaters, and if you get really lucky, you're not going to get accused for it. Even though I don't have any plans to speedrun for the leaderboards in the future, I still love the community, and I think that this would be a really good thing for the speedrunning community. So
sure, he loves the
as
community.
a final closing note, if despite all the evidence that I presented, you still believe that the odds are too low, I want to mention a couple things from the report. One, the expert that wrote the report says that he, quote, disagrees that the situation suggests that cheating is an unavoidable conclusion, and two, that the probability presented
it
is
was
not
an
the
expert.
probability that I'm innocent.
It was
It's
not
just
an
the
expert, it was a
probability of
student.
event happening under specific circumstances. And the expert says that in order to find a correct probability of me changing the drop rates, quote, external evidence that the probabilities were modified at this specific point would be needed to produce introduce a significant probability of cheating. Essentially, the fact that something unlikely happened shouldn't be the only evidence to back up an accusation. But I think that's all I have to say.
But if it's this unlikely, especially like multitudes more unlikely than the other speedrunners, then that's cause for concern.
Yep.
For the whole thing, I encourage you to like this video. That way it has a higher chance of getting put into the algorithm so more people see it. Generally, accusations are seen much more than the responses to those accusations, so kind of sucks. If you see somebody talking about this, I encourage you to tell them about my video. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Bye.
Basically him saying, please give me attention.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's it for that video.
Yep. However, he would go on to then go on to apologize. Just hit download there and then open it up. You'll have to share it with the fucking screen.
Is it a text file?
Yeah, it is a text file. Scuffed stream, everybody.
Scuffed stream, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, alright, so that's good. Okay, we can do that, and then I'll share this with you. Alright, so this is the...
This is him admitting to cheating.
This is his paste bin where he admits that he is cheating.
To give some context, he was trying to, at the time, he was trying to upload something to one of the Java leaderboards, and because of his history of cheating, he was denied it. So he then puts this out.
Yeah. I feel like this is something important to talk about. I've been withheld for a while about it all, and just decided it'd probably be best to just let it out so I can feel relaxed a little more, I guess. This will be a very long read, I'm sure. I'm writing this in my bath at 4 a.m. on my phone, so please forgive any mistakes or confusing bits. He was really pent up about this, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Holy cow.
He was that ass mad about not being able to add something to the leaderboard that he's writing this at 4 a.m. on his phone.
In a
bathtub.
Back on October/November of 2020, I, for the first time since when 1.16 had just released, decided to try and speedrun 1.16 to get a decent time. My goal was to get a time faster than 25 minutes, which was a good time and fairly obtainable at the time for me without spending months speedrunning. We had, or were just about to switch Manhunt to 1.16, and I wanted to get practice for that, and then speedrun for a better 1.15 time, because my record on 1.15 had been beaten. After running for about a week, I got a 19-minute time that arguably could have been lower, ironically enough, due to bad luck. I started running 1.15 directly after, and a few days later there were some suspicions involving my streamed runs on 1.16. At this point, I was cooperative but upset and confused that I was being questioned. I provided all the information that I could and assumed everything was fine. As Cheddar grew, I was confused and the numbers didn't look to be in my favor. At this point, I reached out to the only Mojang developer that I had contact with and talked for about an hour or so about what was going on. I told him the details and was asking if there's potential for a bug or glitch, and he told me that no there isn't, but said some things about how banning for luck seems far-fetched and that they should improve their system.
So, in other words, the Mojang developer, he said before that he was talking to a Mojang developer and it fully backed him up in his initial response. But in his initial response, he said that it could just be a glitch, man.
Yeah. I felt a little reassured, but also angry that I was potentially being dragged for absolutely nothing. It wasn't a huge thing yet, but it still lingered in my mind, and I couldn't really think about anything other than it. As time went on and many weeks passed, I grew more and more frustrated, convinced that I was being targeted due to the fact that I was a YouTuber, and a couple of the mods, self-admitted, didn't like me at all, and didn't have many kind words to say. I was a jerk and lashed out publicly, saying the investigation was a farce and expressing how mad I was that I was being targeted and that it was taking so long, as the mods kept giving me deadlines, then missing them. This was terribly stupid of me to do. I was scared and stressed and said...
I was scared and stressed
and did bad things.
You're an adult.
Yes, Dream, you're an adult and you run a YouTube channel with
millions
millions of subscribers.
You wouldn't be scared or stressed if... You shouldn't be scared or stressed if you know for sure you are in the right.
Exactly. But he cheated. So he was scared, and he was stressed. Anyways, see here. I regret it a lot, and really wish that I'd been able to keep my calm. Later that month, the speedrun team released a video and a document detailing why my 1.16 runs couldn't have been legitimate based on math and statistics. I admittedly don't know anything about math and statistics. I didn't go to college, and I hated math my whole life. At this point, I felt complete fear, as I felt like I had been publicly smeared in a way that I have no clue how to respond to. I didn't understand the math, and I didn't understand why I had been left in the dark for so long, only to have a video dropped randomly on me right before Minecraft Championship. At this point and before, I had multiple speedrun moderators messaging me scary things about how it was a crap show, and no one could agree on things just before the release.
Yeah, because they didn't want because there was obviously different factions who didn't want to get the blowback for talking against Dream.
Yeah, and because like Dream had and maybe still has an insane standum.
Yep.
That they were clearly biased against me and so on. In retrospect, this may have been out of fear and wanting to be on the good side of a really big YouTuber, or maybe they were just being truthful, or a little bit of both. All I know is that it scared me a lot. Feeling like everything you built might come tumbling down and there's nothing you can do about it is really stressful.
His main modus operandi was not speed running. It was fucking PvP, and it was always PvP based. So why would he care? It wouldn't bring everything down.
No, it really wouldn't. In fact, it didn't. He would still enjoy a good, couple of years still of fame before, he fell off.
Yep.
Again, I lashed out. I tweeted about the mods being clout chasers, and I said a lot of really icky things. I was pissed, I was scared, and I was being an idiot.
Yes, but you weren't being an idiot. You were scared because your lie was being unraveled.
Shortly after that, someone gave me the idea to hire a professional statistician because I know nothing about math. This calmed me down a lot and brought me back to a much healthier mindset. I googled and I ended up finding 2 professors, and I emailed them both about the situation asking for assistance. Only one of them was available to help. I was looking for help, and I told them that I didn't cheat and that I just needed a second opinion on the math. Eventually, the professor came back with the conclusion that the mods' numbers were off by a significant margin, and that it's possible, although extremely unlikely. Again, not completely understanding math, but knowing that my expert's opinion seemed to be that the mods were off, I felt vindicated and relieved. I made a video about it and expressed the professor's views. People hounded me for it, saying that the astrophysicist was fake, but the mods confirmed it was legit. I just wanted a mostly unbiased parties option. The mods came back with a response, correcting the professor and saying that he was off and providing the reasons for why. Again, I don't understand complicated math, so I sent it directly to the professor asking for his thoughts. Later on, he came back admitting there were mistakes in his original assessment, although he still believed theirs were off.
There you go.
There you go.
So in other words, the supposed professor got it wrong.
Yep, because he's a student.
Yep.
In his rebuttal, though, he came to the conclusion that it's improbable that I didn't cheat. I felt like the right thing to do was post his findings, even though he hadn't asked me to yet. I did. I tweeted them out and replied saying that I agree that it seems more likely than not that I cheated. I didn't say anything more than that. Funnily enough, he actually emailed me a day or two later, saying I needed to post his feelings, or he will, semi-threatening, but not in a mean way. And I responded that I already had before he even asked. At this point, I was lost, and I was fairly confused about the whole thing, wondering
when he posted that, he said it nonchalantly, like it was a joke that no one would take seriously, and then he would later delete it.
Wondering what the other options were and exploring the possibilities. As much as I was confident that I didn't cheat, I had never explored the option that I possibly did. Due to the way that I reacted to the mods and perceived everything going on, I was convinced that they were out to get me. I tunnel-visioned and was paranoid and didn't think straight. I had plenty of valid reason to believe that they weren't impartial, and had the mod team and I had been completely friendly from the beginning, I believe it never would have gotten to the point that it did.
But you were friendly, though. You admitted that you were friendly.
At least after that knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
really...
which
is it, Dream? Were you the great influence on the community? Or were they out to get you and it was a shit show.
Which is it, Dream? After considering this, I ended up finding out that I had actually been using a disallowed modification during around 6 of my live streams on Twitch. At the time, we were just starting...
The 6 that people took in issue with.
The exact same ones. At the time, we were just starting to record videos on 1.16, and we had just hired a developer to help with coding mods for videos, because me and George had no experience with mods, only plugins. One of the mods that they were working on was an overall recording mod that I have used in every video with updates and improvements since around the speedrun controversy. You may notice it in my videos due to F3 being small or particles being reduced, or recently on my streams like the background being custom or a Dream servers option, and plenty of other features and improvements. In our challenge videos, before 1.16, we had always increased the Enderman spawn rates and pearl drop rates out of convenience, and we mentioned that openly before. It makes the videos better because we don't spend hours looking for pearls or spend so much time farming blaze rods, a totally RNG thing, mostly pearls.
So Dream is just saying he stages his manhunts here.
Yeah. I think Mr. Beast, like, when he played with Mr. Beast, Mr. Beast said that, like, oh, they like, play seeds until they get a good one.
Yeah, they said that too, so...
Yeah, like, it wasn't exactly like he was hiding it.
They're completely and utterly staged.
Yeah. And he's not even trying to... And of course he's not trying to hide it. And that's... Yeah. When 1.16...
Except he made a whole live stream trying to debunk the fact that they were staged, though.
Oh, yeah, huh, I remember that.
So,
yeah.
And at other points, he said that he wants to integrate certain tricks into it. So, it's almost as if they're all staged. It's all an act. It's not
all
really...
an act. It's all a facade.
It's essentially WWE. It's this generation's WWE.
Yeah. Only way less entertaining. When 1.16 came out, it was more complicated to increase piglin trades than it is to do ender pearl drops. Well, you still did it.
Yep.
A server-side plugin was made for our videos that slightly increases the rates. Around this time is when the first versions of the recording was being made, though it was more of a chat mod at this point. I had considered...
Wait. So he just said a server-side plugin increased the rates. So how does that explain him having a mod that increased the rates?
Yeah. I had considered at the time that this potentially could have been a problem, but brushed it off because 1, server-side and client-side are completely different as far as I was aware. Nothing had been done client-side. They are. And 2, as far as I knew, it was just basically a chat mod so far. And 3, I was 99% sure I didn't even have the recording mod on, which was backed up by the Fabric API log saying that only the Fabric API was loaded, although I found out later that it only lists things that explicitly ask to be listed, which I had no idea. This was mentioned in my response video. How convenient.
Why did the specific chat mod, why was that specifically told to not be listed?
That's extremely convenient.
It is.
Yeah. Almost as though he had cheated on purpose, not by accident.
Yep. Indeed.
I ended up thinking that it's basically the only explanation after the student, came back with what he did. I talked with the developer and ended up finding out that when working on the mod stuff, he added the same improvements from our challenge servers to the client-side mod so that they would work in single-player videos, like the shot color video or other single-player mod videos.
Isn't that convenient?
Isn't that convenient? This is only in an early rendition of the mod and was removed because the developer realized that those types of videos can just be done on a PC-hosted server. This actually included a couple of other
Why would you remove...
Yeah?
Why would you... Wait, it would be done on a PC-hosted server. Why, though? Why, if you were doing something in single-player, why spin up... Well, there is one reason to get better performance, but why do it when you have a beefy computer like Dream's?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and you're already using sodium, so it pretty much fixes everything.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking add up.
Exactly. It doesn't add up at all.
Hey, DJ Bot.
What's good, DJ Bot? How's it going? This actually included a couple of other things that weren't mentioned at all during the controversy as far as I'm aware. Ender eyes had a low chance of breaking when thrown, and Enderman dropped pearls at a much higher percentage. I don't think I killed many Endermen, so this wasn't noticeable, similar to the eyes. When I realized this, I felt an extreme sense of guilt, and I took down my response video, not believing in what I said in the video at all anymore. More like he realized, wait, yeah, I actually was cheating. There's no possible way.
Well, no, it's more so enough time has passed. I can take it down, and no one will notice.
I think so, yeah. This was a couple months ago at this point, I believe. When the drama first started, I cared more about defending myself and being right than figuring out what was actually going on, and I shot myself in the foot by doing it. I felt really terrible for the mods because I dragged them through the mud, even though they were mostly right. I still feel as though the mod team was extremely unprofessional when dealing with it. Yeah,
There you go. And now you're dragging him through the mud more.
Yep, they're still dragging him through the mud. Yeah, and also, he, like, more professional than you, Dream. Seriously.
Yep.
Yeah. But they're a group of volunteers just trying to do their job, and in their eyes, I was just some cheating sob YouTuber who didn't care at all. Maybe in their position,
you are.
Yeah, he is. Maybe in their position, I would have treated me the same. I was a jerk back to them, which didn't help at all either. I reflected a lot about the entire thing and had a lot of regret about just the first few days after the runs. What if they had asked for my mods sooner? What if I'd realized sooner? What if I hadn't had a history with a couple of the mods? Maybe I wouldn't have jumped straight to them being out to get me. Further past that, I would have...
Remember, Dream deleted his mod list out of anger.
Yep, because he was mad.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Further past that, what if I could have controlled my emotions and not blown the whole thing out of proportion? I can't live by what ifs, so I was just left with what I had. I debated live streaming or making a video about it, but the drama basically already passed, and I was worried about rekindling the fire when I had already gone through basically a couple months straight of absolutely being crapped on by anyone that didn't think of me favorably, and the mods had gone through weeks of torture, I'm sure, too. Well, he made this paste spin, and then shortly after deleted it.
Well, I don't know how shortly after he deleted it. He deleted it at some point.
I think it was like a month later, I don't know. I figured it's out of the way, and it would be a story I would tell in a few years when no one really cared. I told a couple people and just felt like the community had been through enough drama and that it was pointless. I didn't want to be the center of controversy for the 100th time.
So instead of clearing the air as soon as you were aware, you just sat on it. You just sat on it.
Yeah, you sat on it hoping that no one would talk about it anymore.
Yeah, and then when you couldn't submit a run, you then decide to talk about it. Sure.
Yeah, sure. It was bad and an unfortunate situation where I felt like I couldn't defend myself anymore in good faith without feeling bad, but I also didn't have any intention of cheating. Sure. Sure, yeah. You didn't. Since the speedrun controversy, there has been some animosity between me and the mods, and I feel like the relationship only got worse. They declined my donations from the controversy video, got into drama a couple times with me or my community on Twitter since they don't want to go to specifics. And a month or so ago, added me to a chat questioning me about my previous 1.15 runs from around a year ago. They saw a suspicious black box that they thought meant to splice, but it turned out to be a YouTube setting on their end that they realized, and they had some other random questions as well. This was resolved fairly maturely, I believe, and I haven't talked to them since. Yesterday, around MCC, the mods made the decision to remove my older runs due to suspicions and the fact that my 1.16 run was invalid, which is something that is done with most people who submit any invalid runs at all. I'm sure there's reasonable suspicions about most runs, especially offline ones from back when they were allowed, so couple that with a 1.16 run actually being invalid, and it's a completely reasonable assumption. You can't give someone the benefit of doubt on lag or frame skips, or potential cuts or anything unless they've earned it. And in this case, I haven't at all. So I don't want to see any hate toward the mods or any drama involving the fact that they were marked invalid due to my 1.16 run.
Then why did you call them incompetent and unprofessional?
Yeah, why did you do that? Why'd you badmouth them? If you're going to apologize, you don't point out someone's faults in that apology. You can later come to a mutual understanding that this situation could have been held better, but you don't fucking badmouth them in the apology. Yeah, exactly. I think it's dumb that it's been done for like 11 months later, but it's understandable, and if anything, I deserve it, and it puts an end to any potential drama. At this point, what could they do? Double ban me? He's trying to be like, sassy in his apology. I'm not really sure what I'm expecting out of all this, but I just felt like I had a huge weight on my shoulder and I wanted to get off. I think the whole situation was extremely bad overall for everyone involved, and I wish that I could go back and do things differently because it was some of the worst weeks of my life and it still impacts me every day.
Oh no!
Oh no!
And from a fucking speedrun website.
You got banned from a speedrun website and got caught cheating. Oh no, whatever shall we do? I'm sorry to anyone that I let down or disappointed. I always strive to be the best person that I can be, and that whole debacle wasn't the best that I can be, or anywhere near it.
He doesn't strive to be the best person he can be. He tries to push the envelope and then cucks to his audience whenever they find something objective, something arbitrarily objective. Because Dream used fucking stock audio of like American Indian bongo drums, and they took issue with it because it was cultural appropriation, despite it was literally stock music.
And what was his response to that?
He apologized profusely up and down, and completely sold out.
Why would he need to apologize for that though? Like,
because he is afraid of his audience.
I mean, I'd be afraid of my audience too if they were like this. They were very rabid.
Yep. He doesn't want to give up his cushy YouTube career and give some pushback, so.
Mm-hmm. Alright, I hope this brings some closure to anyone who needed it, and I really want to move forward with positive vibes, like I've been trying my best to promote as much as I can. When I got into speedrunning, I was doing it every day for months, and you can see the skill improvement even after just a few months of tryharding. Ego stroke! It was so...
Yep.
Yeah. It was so much fun, and I got a few snarky records that I shouldn't have gotten in the first place. My first world record, I chopped down trees for 10 minutes. I still find that hilarious because of how unoptimized the category was. I came in at the right time and met some absolutely incredible people who are some of the best Minecraft players on the planet. I am nowhere near the best speedrunner and never have been. I was in the right place at the right time and was able to have a lot of fun because of that. I hope that this gives insight into my mindset a little bit, but I'm not sure. But if not, I'm not sure what will. I'm sure I'll talk about it more just for clarity's sake, but I want to avoid causing more drama. Please don't send hate to the mod team or anyone involved in the situation. I don't want any more drama at all. You're no supporter of mine if you do. Dream.
He says that, but also that's also the most limp-wristed denouncement of harassment at all. Like, oh, you're no supporter of mine. But any rabid fan can justify it in their head.
Yeah, exactly.
For what they did was justified, and how it isn't harassment, and how it isn't hate. It's what they exactly deserve.
Yeah, that's how they justify it. Now, it still isn't necessarily Dream's fault, but that's how the fans justify their actions.
Yep. But yeah, that's the cheating scandal, and yeah, let's look at Dream's numbers nowadays.
Yes, let me go ahead and share this with you.
You better, you piece of shit.
Oh, I'm gonna. Don't you worry about a thing. Alright. There you go. Beep boop. And there you go.
Yep. So this is Dream's numbers nowadays. Now, these are... now, he hasn't lost any great quantity of subs, but you can see it's pretty much flatlined. And as for views, it is extremely inconsistent.
Yeah. Still, he could absolutely live off of what he does have, so he's not exactly in a bad spot, but he's not growing by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not growing at all. Mainly because he's not putting out content. At this point, I think he's just thinking about that he's essentially semi-retired. He's made enough money. Yeah. He doesn't want to do shit. People made fun of him for looking like Walter Jr. from Breaking Bad. and now he just wants to live out the rest of his life in fucking burning money in the fireplace.
Yeah. Pretty much. And I think, yeah, it seems to be about it for Dream.
Indeed, it does.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So yeah, that's the new king. Oh, let's look at the old. Everyone knows I'm sure all of you know who SkyDoesMinecraft is. And if you don't, you're incredibly young. But SkyDoesMinecraft was the 13th ever person to reach 10 million subs on YouTube. He was the biggest creator of Minecraft creator in terms of subs until Dream came along. And overall, he's a part of both mine and Delta's childhood, along with millions of other people's.
Yep.
But people don't. A lot of people don't think of the middle years when they think of SkyDoesMinecraft. Like between when he completely broke down and did his net nobody shit and the Team Crafted days, they kind of forget the middle years. And in the middle years, he had his own business called Sky Media, where he employed a bunch of people in an office, and they did stuff like this. I just skipped.
Hey guys, Sky here, and welcome to the Bean Boozled Challenge.
I'm in a snuggie. Thanks, boss.
So this was requested by you guys pretty much nonstop.
And if you skip ahead, it's just.
If you guys don't know what the Bean Boozled Challenge is, it's pretty
I'm on a diet.
So guys, if you guys want more challenges,
It's just this content,
Oh my god. Here.
among
My
other
breath
stuff.
smells like rotten eggs. My breath smells like an egg salad sandwich.
I need to watch this.
Yeah, I think you get the point.
Yeah, it's not very good.
Yeah, it's not good content.
And I don't know what Minecraft G01 is. But either way though, even back in the Team Crafted days, things evidently weren't the greatest though.
Mm-hmm.
As we'll see from this document here. Written by fellow YouTuber Gizzy Gaza. It details his experiences with Sky.
Yes, his experience with Sky.
And just Minecraft parody songs in general. They're
I gotcha.
cringe, but me and Delta listened to a bunch of them when we were little.
Yeah, we did. There were a couple of them in the pre-stream, if you heard.
Yeah.
Anyways, you think we read this?
Yep.
Alright. This isn't to take away from Elizabeth's story. It's time to tell you my experiences with Adam behind the scenes and how they have treated me in the past. Please support Elizabeth, there's a link to her thread. Seeing other content creators come out with their own stories have given me the courage to do the same. I hope talking about this publicly I can finally put this to bed and let go of the trauma I've kept to myself the last 9 years. Trigger warnings, depression, emotional abuse, thoughts. Keep in mind, I don't have any evidence because a lot of it happened in real life or over on Skype between 2013 to 2014. I checked through Skype to see if I could find anything, but there's nothing. No messages loaded and nothing updated past 2015 for me. They had me blocked a while back on Twitter, so I can't seem to access our DMs either, but a lot of the emotional abuse came from Skype anyways. I know I don't have evidence, but to me, I wanted to get this off my chest for 9 years. I also never worked with the guy in a company or lived with them.
Donkey thinks Sky sounds like you.
I don't think so. I think
neither do I.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I guess you're both Pacific Northwesterners.
That's true, but like we don't really sound that similar, I don't think.
I'm guessing it's just the accent thing.
It's
more
probably
than
it's
anything.
probably an accent. It's probably an accent thing. Yeah. Today I wanted to share with you my emotional abuse from him and how they made me feel. Note, I talk about Podcrash during the Cops and Robbers, but please do not send them any hate because the people who run Podcrash now were not involved in what happened in 2013. Also note, I mentioned Team Crafted as well, but please do not send them any hate either. This happened a long time ago, and some of them are good friends of mine now. I'm just sharing my side of the story of what happened. TLDR version, Adam on
You can just skip the TLDR since we're going to read
we're going to read the actual thing. Cops and Robbers. The first big incident that happened that has still stuck with me all this time is Cops and Robbers. Podcrash, the creators of Cops and Robbers, and I were in talks a lot, and I really wanted to recreate the Halo 3 Forge map, Cops and Robbers, into Minecraft, because I thought the roleplay gameplay would be hilarious. I asked Podcrash to make the map. I asked for prisons, a kitchen, showers, multiple ways to escape, etc., and they built it. I recorded the first video with my friends, and it did way better than my other type of content. I decided for my second recording to invite Adam. I showed them my first video, and they liked the concept and agreed. They wanted me to be in the video as the warden. They invited bigger creators from Team Crafted to be in it. This was huge, and I was excited. We recorded the video and, well, it also blew up. Very much so. Cops and Robbers became this huge staple in the Minecraft community in 2013. You ever notice why I was never invited back? despite the fact that I was the one who invited Adam to record it. I was getting tons of views and subscribers from the Cops and Robbers explosion. I was messaging Podcrash with ideas to expand the Cops and Robbers map and continue to grow. I genuinely wanted to work with Podcrash to expand the universe, but they lashed out at me, telling me to back off and stop stealing their map and their credit. That wasn't what my intent was. I never took the credit as builder, but I messaged Podcrash to make Cops and Robbers as I wanted to team up with them to continue to grow the world with some fun ideas, but they didn't like that I wanted to be involved, even though I was the one to tell them to do it. There is a clip publicly where I said, I made the map, and they sent that to Adam/TC to make it look like I was stealing the map from them, when in reality I said that I made the map. I mean, I directed /produced by telling Podcrash what to build and giving them the idea to make Cops and Robbers. I didn't mean build. I told Podcrash what to build for the first map. This was a miscommunication that could have easily been resolved.
Yeah, no, that is an easy miscommunication. It could have been resolved. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why would you take that much offense to it that you would fucking tank a relationship just like that? Like,
yeah, come on. It's as Zango would put it, poor choice awards.
Yeah.
They went to Adam and Team Crafted about this incident, and instead of asking me the full story, they just decided to turn against me. Adam decided not to invite me back, and instead Adam and TC would go over and tell other creators this twisted narrative, and everyone else took Adam, Podcrash, and Team Crafted's words, and they said, yeah, Gizzy sucks, and disliked me moving forward. They spun this story to discredit me entirely of Cops and Robbers, and also distant everyone from me. I remember reaching 100,000 subscribers, and it felt like I wasn't allowed to be happy because everyone was mad at me. I remember joining a team mirroring Team Crafted called The Squad, and they kicked me because I was too controversial and didn't want to jeopardize their relationship with Adam/TC. I was in a call with a content creator in 2013, and I was so upset being treated like this that I vented to them my frustration, only for them to tell Team Crafted what I said to make me look even more like the bad guy. And the rest of Team Crafted distanced themselves from me even more.
This guy's just getting shafted.
Yeah, no, seriously, he's getting, absolutely, this is unfair. This is completely unfair.
All because he uttered a word, he uttered a word that he could have worded himself better.
He could have worded himself better. That's...
But all he said is he made a map. And that was it to get him essentially blacklisted from the industry. Holy shit.
Holy cow.
He said he made one mistake in phrasing, and he got blacklisted.
Sheesh.
Context is we're talking about fucking SkyDoesMinecraft and his, and Gizzy Gaz, and specifically Gizzy Gaz's experience with him currently.
Yes. And the rest of Team Crafted distanced themselves from me even more. Why did they do this? For brownie points? Stab me in the back to make themselves look better for Adam/TC? I didn't know who to trust. Everyone turned against me. I felt so alone. Sure, this was mainly Podcrash's fault, but everyone at the time bowed down to Adam and TC, and they just fed me to the wolves. They didn't care about what it would do to me or my feelings, and it didn't matter what I did, because as long as Adam/TC didn't like me, everyone would pick their side because of their power in 2013. How could I say anything publicly in 2013 with how big they were? I was afraid and just kept my mouth shut and stuck with my friend group.
It's why you never be afraid to speak out when when injustice is happening. It doesn't matter who you're going against, because the truth will always vindicate you in the end.
Yep, exactly. I would try to talk to Adam and they would just ghost me. I had to attend a UK event, Insomnia 49, to see if they would see me, and I was afraid to meet them. Adam and I patched things at the event, and they invited me to their house party where I met with the rest of Team Crafted and we patched things too. I thought this drama was put to bed until 2019 for E3. When at a bar with some creators, a creator mentioned the Cops and Robbers stuff that people still keep their distance from me. It opened that wound I thought I put to bed, and I realized the Cops and Robbers drama.
Fucking 6 years later.
6 years later, people still bring it
guy
up
because of a fucking Minecraft map.
Jeez! Oh my god!
A fucking Minecraft map.
It's a Minecraft map, and it was a simple, it was a simple misspeak. Nothing more, nothing less. Oh my god. Jeez! Left a very deep scar around my name, and while most don't know the truth, there is enough creators in the space who still don't like me because of it. Even last year during MCC Pride, the Cops and Robbers drama was mentioned again with my name. It's been 9 years, and this drama has stuck with me, and I never once talked about it publicly because
Almost
I was
a
afraid.
fucking decade. And he's still getting shit for this.
Jeez, man. Like,
It's a fucking Minecraft map.
yeah, everyone, forgive this man. He made a misspeak 9 years ago. That's all.
Well, even if he was trying to be an attention whore and took all of the credit, it was 9 years ago. And he hasn't done the same since.
Exactly. Sheesh. Like, chill. That's all
What
I
is
got.
wrong with Minecraft YouTubers? Holy shit.
I know! What is wrong with Minecraft YouTubers? First you got, like, Dream the, like, used car salesman over here, and then you got Scumbag SkyDoesMinecraft.
Yeah, and then you have all the fucking pedophiles, but...
Yeah, that
Well-
too, but that's for a different day. And these creators who don't like me because of the CNR drama never once asked for my side of the story. Anytime I think about this incident, it triggers my drama and I get so anxious and upset again. Adam, Podcrash, and TC didn't know about their actions left a tainted scar even 9 years later. ArcadiaCon 2014 / Jizzy Gary. A year's passed and Adam and I were in a pretty good spot together. In fact, we teamed up to create modded Cops and Robbers content together, and we ended up filming over 20 of them, roughly. This was huge for my channel, and I'll always thank Adam for this opportunity and boost. But, during a recording of a modded Cops and Robbers, Adam revealed his phone Siri calls Gizzy Gary Jizzy Gary. They showed it to us beforehand, and everyone in the call laughed and I chuckled, and I asked them not to say it in the video. They did anyways. I never wanted to be called that because it's inappropriate, and I didn't want that rude label and for kids to call me Jizzy. No, I didn't want that at all. It's...
For those not in the new, jizz is man bazooka juice.
Yes. I asked Adam not to say it in the recording. He ignored me. Ever since this, I've always buried that name and ignored anyone who tweets / commented it. A summer convention came up, called ArcadiaCon 2014, that tons of Minecraft creators attended, and in fact a few of us stayed an extra week with Adam for a vacation. It was so much fun, except Adam towards the end of it got really quiet and distant and refused to leave his room.
Jojo, you sweet summer child.
Oh, what?
Look what he just put in chat.
Let me see. Oh, actually, it's in a window right here. Oh, you sweet summer child. Oh.
Anyways, let's fucking continue.
Let us continue. Alright, we didn't know why, but it turned out it was because they were mad at me, again. While watching some YouTube videos on the TV, I snapped at our friend because he kept talking over the funny jokes I was trying to watch. Later that day, I apologized to that friend and we cleared the air, but for some reason, Adam just didn't let it go. They were just so furious with me and wouldn't speak with anyone. Even dropping off at the airport was awkward. They just straight up stopped talking to me and I never understood why until later. This is a repeated behavior between Adam and I. I was always on eggshells around them, because one minute we were friends, and then they hated me, and then we were best friends, and then he hated me again. I remember in university crying because they snapped at me and deleted me off Skype. I don't remember the reason, but I remember that feeling of doing something wrong and in tears while in a lecture. 2014 boycott. This one stuck with me. Shortly after ArcadiaCon and Adam didn't like me, I ended up getting into an argument publicly with another creator about not crediting him properly for a map he made. It was water under the bridge after a day and we moved on. Except, Adam didn't let it go.
Of course he didn't.
Of course not. I don't know why they attached themselves to hating me so much, but they saw this beef between a creator and myself, and they decided enough was enough, and they began contacting creators to not work or talk with me. I started to notice creators not responding back to my messages to collaborate or to even chat. I found out from 2 to 3 close friends that Adam reached out to them to not work with me. Boycott.
That's yeah. Wow, fuck you, Sky.
Yeah, what an actual scumbag!
Yeah, like, this guy is already reeling from... At the same time, remember, the Cops and Robbers shit is still happening.
Yes.
And then Sky, the biggest Minecraft YouTuber of all time until Dream came and dethroned him, tells people not to work with Gizzy.
What an actual jerk! Wow. Yeah. Dream might be a sleazy car salesman, but, like, Sky's just a jerk.
Jojo, it gets worse. It gets much worse.
Oh, yeah, it gets worse. By the way, Sky and Adam are the same person. They're the same person. Adam is just SkyDoesMinecraft's real name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suddenly had no one again. SkyDoesMinecraft in 2014 was scary. No one wanted to be on the wrong side of Adam. Look what happened to me. He turned everyone against me twice. This and cops and robbers. I've only experienced these sorts of thoughts twice in my life.
Suicidal thought.
Yeah. The first in 2009, before YouTube. Another story for another time, maybe if I want to open that door. And second, when I felt so alone and everyone hated me because Adam turned everyone away from me. It felt like Adam hated the fact I was making content so much he wanted me gone, and to do that, he tried to push everyone away from me. I was alone again. I remember flying to New York for an event called U-Cube, replacing Minorama last minute. I noticed everyone was distancing from me again. I remember hanging out with friends and then suddenly, oh, I'm not feeling like hanging out, but then they show pictures of them hanging out with other YouTube friends that they were in a close circle with. Adam. Remember how I already felt so alone? I flew to Seattle from the UK for PAX West, and while there, I hoped to talk to Adam at the convention to fix things. I remember it was myself and Basherverse and another creator inside
Basherverse is another Minecraft pedophile, by the way.
Oh dear.
Honestly, if you want to know more about Basherverse, go watch Gamer from Mars' video on him. He did a complete biopic. Also, Basherverse is dead now, so...
Oh, well, there you go. One less child lover in the world. That unwanted feeling of everyone not liking you all because of one individual saying so. Did anyone ask for my side of the story again? No. No one wanted to turn against Adam. It was like a power trip. Everyone was afraid that if they turned against Adam, they too would be boycotted. I met up with Adam at the convention. He invited me to his place that afternoon to talk, and we did, and we cleared the air again. Notice I have to go to Adam instead of him reaching out to me, and suddenly everyone started talking to me again shortly after. The last straw. After this incident, I kept my distance, mainly because I didn't want to say the wrong thing again, and suddenly they would hate me and turn everyone against me again. I knew they had that power, and I was afraid of them. I was always on thin ice with them because I didn't want to experience the depression thoughts again. 2015, my channel blew up during doing more roleplay styled content. They were impressed, and we started talking again. Adam was focused on Sky Media, and I was focused on my own content, so we were mutual and friendly, but working on our own content. January 2018 rolled around, and I played with a Where Are They Now video idea, and I found an image of them scruffy and half-naked and thought it would be a funny after photo. It was a business choice, and I was playing with CTR, click-through rate on YouTube, to see what would get higher clicks. I wasn't meaning to be malicious, but this was a poor choice on my end. Adam lashed out publicly, sending hate towards my way, and once again, for a third time, people not liking me because of what Adam said. Yes, I shouldn't have done the thumbnail, and that was wrong of me, but couldn't a private message solve this issue? You know, cuss me out privately and criticize me for it, and happily I'd fix it. But why did it need to be public? Did you want me to have hate? I apologized and removed the thumbnail, and, well, that was the last time we spoke. Sometime later I noticed they even blocked me. I didn't even know why? What happened to trigger them to block me in 2018 or 2019? Once again, no one asked my side of the story. They saw Adam tweeting about the drama and decided,
oh yeah,
wow.
The reason why Gizzy says they here is because Adam LARPs is an N-buy, so...
Oh, well, there you go.
I don't believe it for a fucking second, though, but either way, let's continue.
Yeah. They saw Adam tweeting about the drama and decided, wow, Gizzy is awful, once again. I saw this as the final straw. No matter what I do, Adam would just not like me and would continue to have that power over everyone else and make it so no one would talk to me. It's like they didn't like that I was a content creator. Otherwise, why would I turn my friends / other creators against me? Why try to turn my friends / other creators against me? I still have trauma from the cops and robbers in the 2014 boycott. Anytime I think about those incidents, I break down. I haven't spoken or contacted Adam since January 2018. It's like they wanted a reason to not like me, and I don't understand what I did, honestly, for them to turn against me. But I got tired of walking on eggshells around them. I'm tired of the will they/won't they like me every day, and I got tired of pretending I was okay. I got tired of them turning to my friends to tell them not to talk to me. I just got tired of all of it, so I walked away. To this day, I still experience trauma from all of this. I'm paranoid about creators. I don't have a lot of trust in other creators anymore. I've been sidelined, backstabbed, and used in my 10 years on YouTube, and most of this drama stemmed from my emotional abuse from Adam. Adam made me feel alone in the Minecraft community for so long, and I still have trust issues because of it.
I wish I could say something funny, but this just isn't funny.
Yeah, this is messed up.
Yeah, it's just fuck.
Yeah, really, I feel bad for him.
And it only gets worse from here.
It does. What about the last 4 years, cutting toxic people out of my life? It's honestly been the best 4 years of my life. I'm happily married, own my own home, have a successful career, and I have some amazing friends that support me. Despite the drama and the uphill battle behind the scenes, I still kept moving forward. I just wish I cut Adam out sooner to save me from the trauma I still live with. Hey, you know what? He ended up living a successful life.
Yeah, well, that's at least a good place. At least he's doing better. That's all that matters.
He is doing much better now, which is
But
good.
yeah, Gizzy was just an associate. He didn't actually work for Sky. Someone who did, on the other hand, I just put back the nice image
Yes.
for now.
Yeah, it's back up.
Yeah, someone who did work for Sky was someone was a YouTuber known as House Owner, also known as Ross, now known as your pal Ross. Ross started his channel on his own and built it up, and he collaborated with Sky and got a bunch of views from that, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But Sky, when he was deciding to make a media empire about this, decided to hire Ross, and in this contract, Ross had to essentially sell his channel to Sky in order to get this job, like sign it over. So Sky became the official owner of it. So in doing this, Sky deleted all the things and repackaged it as Couch Potatoes, essentially a thing where all the people who work for him get on a couch and play video games. And it's built the channel up like to almost 1 million subs. However, Ross, due to many things, Sky being an absolute shitty boss, quit, and Sky, the only way to get his channel back, Sky said, basically pay me for it back. Ross, not willing to do that, just created a new channel. So Sky instead decided to give it to lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
And they made content. Some people apparently watched it, some of it, but eventually no one did. And then they eventually stopped posting. Now, Sky was within his legal rights to do this. He was technically, well, not technically, he was the legal owner. But imagine you built this YouTube channel from basically being a teenager, almost gets 1 million subs, and then you can't, and then it is just taken away from you because you signed a contract.
That sucks. That would.
Indeed.
This is why I'm not gonna be signing like any contracts when it comes to like bigger YouTubers.
Don't sign any network when it comes to fucking networks. Like,
That
don't
too.
sign to any networks. Yeah. Ultimately, Ross and Sky would have verbal sparring matches on Twitter that Sky would almost always instigate, and
Is that next?
ultimately, when people started talking about Sky again, Ross would chime in. Sky would always say that, oh, the employees were all lazy, and that's why Sky Media failed. But Ross here reveals that they had 2 schedules, one for if Adam showed up and one if he didn't.
Yeah.
So Adam wasn't showing up to work enough that they had to have 2 separate schedules. Because part of Sky Media was having him on the production floor making videos, and he just didn't feel like it some days.
That's incredibly stupid.
Yep. but he was also probably just high off of weed.
Yeah. He probably was, because he did smoke a lot of weed.
Yep. And other employees weren't treated much better. In fact, one was treated absolutely horribly. And you can read... I'll let you read this.
All right. Working at Sky Media was the darkest period of my life that I've ever and probably will ever have. Eventually, the constant gaslighting and mental torture led me to nearly off myself, but I decided to take my situation into my own hands and quit / move as far as I could.
And then next.
Since then, it has been a year-long battle of trying to rebuild my self-worth, and I'm not sure I'll ever be back to 100%, but I'll keep trying. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who believed me and my friends, who helped keep me sane at my darkest points. I don't feel like going into details, but one fun situation was when my mom had a heart attack and I wanted to go visit her to see if she was okay. This was one of the many times my loyalty was threatened and my job was held over my head because I had more videos to edit. It sounds absurd now, but with the fact that none of my relocation costs to Seattle were paid for by the company, that decision gets a little harder. Again, very scummy thing for Sky to do.
Extremely scummy. And it wasn't just him. Another one of Sky's editors and fellow content creators. You need to grab it from the show prep because there's a twit longer.
Okay, hold up. Let me go ahead and
was also echoes this, and he also admits to partaking in the bullying of Tim here, which at least he admits to it and admits how wrong it is. So.
All right, let me just go ahead and get that on the screen really quick. There you go.
Yep. And then I'll let you read this.
All right, okay, here we go. By the end of the night, my throat's going to be super sore because I've been reading so much. All right. This is not to overshadow the statements made by Elizabeth. Please support their original statement. This is being brought to light now, and only now, because after 5 years, I finally feel safe enough to talk about it. In 2015, I was employed by Sky Media to be a video editor. It was supposed to be a temporary position while I transitioned over to talent within the first couple of months, but I was constantly pushed back for over a year. I was strung along for months not create content or upload anything on my channel until my channel was purchased by the company. At the time, the MIIIIIIIINE name. Yeah, what's up?
So essentially, Adam was pressuring him not to make any videos. So he could short missing here short him on how much money his channel's worth.
Sheesh.
And buy it for cheap.
That is... Oof. At the time, the MIIIIIIINE name was completely worthless, but it was still a name I had created for myself since 2015, and wanted to keep it no matter what. When I was finally given a contract to sign and sell my channel, the offer was $5,000, a 1-year compete, no social media presence for a year if I left, complete loss of any right to the name MIIIIIIINE, and a bunch of other legal mumbo-jumbo that I did not agree with and was advised by several third parties not to sign. After over a year of waiting and being strung along, I decided to quit once I was handed such a bad deal. Ross ended up quitting for separate reasons unrelated to mine, but we were always grouped together because we quit around the same time. It's assumed...
Yeah, so Ross did sign over his channel, Missin didn't. So...
Yeah. It's assumed I was finally given a contract because Ross was already quitting at that point. The office had its fair share of good moments, but they sure as heck did not outweigh the bad. Tim, the head editor of the office, was vilified to a completely unjustifiable reasoning. He was treated horribly, and due to my loyalty to the CEO of the company, I had no reason to mistrust what they were saying about Tim, and also had a hand in treating him badly.
The CEO is Adam, by the way.
Yeah, so Adam, SkyDoesMinecraft.
I would just swap in Adam whenever you see CEO there, just to make it easy.
Sounds good. I deeply regret how I treated him, and will never forgive myself for being so blind to the situation. It's not my place to tell Tim's story, but everything Tim has tweeted thus far has been completely truthful. Along with Tim's work hours, mine were no better. In order for me to actually be a part of content recordings, I had to show up at the office every day around 4 to 6 a.m. I had worked far more overtime than I should have realized, and ended up having to work close to 15 to 17 hour workdays.
Holy shit!
That's like video game industry levels of like work hours. Jesus Christ.
That is fucking insane. because that's only leaving him That's only leaving him what, 7 hours of sleep? And that doesn't include commute back home. So, and to
Sheesh.
the office.
That's absolutely horrible.
It is.
We never had a strict schedule to work with because sometimes Adam would never show up to work, so we had to work around how they were feeling. At the time, we had an office manager who was also vilified by Adam, and we're not told to listen to him. And we're told not to listen to him no matter what, because in reality, they were actually trying to make Adam do their job. The working environment of the offices was disgusting, unprofessional, and I'm surprised I stayed as long as I did. I felt brainwashed.
So the office manager was hired by Adam to try and to manage the office. When the office manager said that, "Hey, Adam, you need to come into work," he spurred down about it.
Jeez, man. Like, make up your mind, SkyDoesMinecraft. Do you want an office manager or not?
Do you want a fucking career or not?
Yeah, do you want a career or not? Once I quit the offices, I decided to begin uploading content to my own channel and do what I always wanted to do. As time began to pass, Ross got a call one night from Adam asking why Tim was tweeting about him. He wasn't, but assumed he was because Adam was always paranoid. During that phone call, Adam lashed out at Ross, saying how I was brainwashing Ross and how I was a horrible friend to him and Ross quitting was my fault. I was the only person in my house who was still defending him before that. After hearing that, I blocked them on Twitter for the first time just so I could finally be done with everything. Once Adam learned that I blocked them, they began the first wave of harassment, tweeting horrible lies about me, periscoping streams, and coming up with fabricated stories of stuff I never did. This is only scratching the surface. On my birthday of November 2016, Scarce picked up the story and echoed the lies told about me with even more false stuff vilifying me. This is where I began the constant harassment from fans who believed the CEO to a terrifying degree. I received all these things, death threats, name, calling, all sorts. Yeah. I even recall one person sending me a photo of them burning my photo. In 2017, I felt the pressure of YouTube at full force and decided it would be a much safer position for me to get another job as an editor. That's when I started working for Jess/AFMU. When the CEO found out about this, they began constantly harassing me over and over, day after day on Twitter, even though I have not spoken to them in over a year. This put me in a terrible mental state to where I even contemplated that to make it all stop. Yeah.
Suicide, yeah.
This is only a
So,
fraction.
SkyDoesMinecraft driving multiple people to almost kill themselves.
Jeez Louise.
Your favorite Minecraft YouTuber from your childhood.
This is the old king of Minecraft, everyone.
Yep.
What a scumbag.
What a fucking scumbag indeed.
This is only a fraction of the stuff I went through, but it happened so long ago that I still to this day have most of it blocked out. I hate talking about it, I hate talking about them, and I hate hearing people who I even associated with justifying the CEO's actions to me. The amount of people who knew about their actions and continue to work with them after so long is disgusting. I'm seeing them reach out now and even trying to paint Adam in a bad light only because now it benefits them. This person had so much power, more power than any of you could even begin to realize, and to see them garner so much support every day because they made quirky Minecraft videos and played off of their fans' nostalgia is disheartening to say the least. This is far from over. I'm done hiding and being scared every day. One of the reasons I never spoke out is because, and this will always stick with me, is Adam once told me, no matter if I'm wrong, I will bleed you dry in court from lawyer fees and you will have nothing. In the end, I'm glad people are at least listening now. So he literally...
Basically,
yeah.
Yeah. What Adam was doing is he was threatening that it doesn't matter. He would sue him. He would sue him without having any ground, and because Miston couldn't afford it, he would have to fucking roll over and take it.
Sheesh. And Sky has the money to do it, so...
Had the money to do it.
And now he doesn't anymore.
Yep. Anyways. And yeah, if we get back to the drive, yeah, next.
All right, here we go.
Mifflin says, "I love how it takes a viral tweet to get people to listen to you. This shit has been known to the public for such a long time. Fuck you, Twitter. What was it like working for him? I quit. What the fuck do you think?" And then Adam's either ex-fiance or ex-wife, I don't know at this point, chimes in and says, "I guess you can give the Poggers voice."
Max and Ross gave up everything to move out to Washington to pursue their dream that Adam promised to help with. He and his crooked managers chewed them up and spat them out, used them, and then tried to take their channels away. Keep in mind, these were Adam's proclaimed best friends.
Yep, and Adam succeeded with Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't with Misson, because he never signed the contract, but succeeded with Ross.
Yep. In the mornings, it was my job to wake him up and drive him to work. Like a child. Yeah, keep in mind that I also worked at the Sky Media offices, so anytime he decided he didn't want to go in, I couldn't work either.
Yep. So overall, Adam's now ex, and this is the mother of one of Adam's children, by the way.
Oh, sheesh.
Yep. And here's her telling her horror stories with Adam.
Yep. By the way, Adam likes to call me an abuser for finally retaliating at him physically after he had been chasing me and cornering me. I lashed out after he screamed in my face that he would do everything in my power to make sure the court sees you as an unfit mother.
Yep. And then it only gets worse.
He wouldn't move, so I grabbed his neck and punched him. And honestly, I regret nothing, and he cannot hold that over my head anymore. Sad part is when the cops came, I didn't tell them about him physically restraining me or screaming at me. I was scared the public would find out, thus making him lose his job, thus leaving my son with no support as I didn't have a job at the time. I spent my son's first Easter in jail because he wouldn't send money to his parents to help bail me out. I sat there for 5 days. Then he tried to dox me with this information to his millions of followers to get them to mob me. Fun times.
So Sky, literally, because he was fucking... Sky initiated pretty much a domestic. She fought back. He called the cops, wanting the best for her child. She didn't explain her full side, so she went to jail. And then Adam, who supposedly, in spite of this domestic, is supposed to love her, didn't even bail her out of jail.
Wow, what an actual scumbag!
Despite being a multi-millionaire at the time, so
literally the scum of the earth.
Yep.
All right, that's a
and
link.
Then,
I imagine.
Yeah, that is a link, and that is the link to. You guys might be wondering what sparked all of this around the same time in 2022. Well, the answer is his most recent baby mama, his girlfriend, decided to make a document shared in iCloud Drive that was essentially a tell-all on her experiences with him. And we're going to read that.
Here we go. All right. Dear Adam...
She did get to keep the kid, Jojo, and he was not happy about that. He went on Keemstar and cried about it.
Oh, of course. Anyways...
And the thing is, people took his side at the time, because they didn't know exactly how bad he truly was.
But now we all know. Dear Adam Dahlberg, aka Net Nobody, I'm going to do my best to be the voice you have taken from so many. You hurt, you abuse, you manipulate, and you lie. You are a sick man. I spent months and months loving you with my whole entire being. I spent thousands of dollars just to come live with you. You made promises you didn't want to keep, but promises you made to manipulate my life so you could be in control. You used your fame, your name, and your platform to hide the disgusting and disgraceful things that you so claim not to do. You not only verbally abused and degraded me, the mother of your second child, you
I just realized something.
Yes?
He's higher class Ethan Ralph.
He really is. He really is higher class Ethan Ralph. Because, like, he's a scumbag. And
he's a scumbag who has multiple children out of wedlock. And he can't keep anyone around. And can't keep his...
So there you go. We have higher class Ethan Ralph.
And he has his own fucking pill stream moments, as is going to be outlined here.
Oh, yeah? You traumatized me and put me through things no one should ever have to experience. You hurt me for too long, and I am tired of feeling afraid of you and what speaking up may bring. I had to tell people you weren't abusive, because whenever I said you were, you would harass me and say horrible, horrible things. You were so unkind. I do not wish for anybody to have mental health struggles, nor do I wish for somebody, even you, to have such severe struggles. I wanted nothing but to love you and help you heal. You informed me you were only bipolar and possibly on the spectrum, which was never a problem to me. That was not the case. What you hid from me is the dangerous human you were capable of being, the person you are overall. 95% of our relationship you hid me. You refused to want people to know my name or know about me at all. You avoided
no
it at
one
all
knew
costs.
about her at all.
Yeah, no one knew about her at all. You avoided it at all costs, saying it was to protect our relationship. You refused to even let me talk about the baby publicly, as if it was irrelevant and you didn't care. I wasn't ready for a baby. I spoke of always wanting one, but I continuously told you I wasn't ready, nor was I financially in a place to have a child. You squeezed my body, and were near begging for me to let you get me pregnant, saying stuff like, please, please, I want another kid. I have the money. I want another kid because Alicia keeps me from being the father I dream of, and much more. When I started to get uncomfortable and tried to stop the intimate moment, you pressured me into letting it happen. You didn't stop until I felt forced to say, fine, while clearly uncomfortable. I cried myself to sleep. When I told you I was actually pregnant, you had the oh cool face and a slight smirk, as if you got what you wanted all along. At the time, I was just oblivious. I thought I was just overthinking everything. I continued to pretend everything was fine. Throughout our relationship, you were always on your phone, always hiding messages, having separate texting apps, and deleting conversations. You tried to pressure me into letting you be poly with your friend. And
No, that's a fucking red flag there.
Oh yeah, major red flag there. And degraded me when I told you it's not my thing, and I'm not comfortable with that. You just like cheating. You like feeling better than everyone else, and you want people to do whatever you say. You not only cheated with me, you did several times before I even moved in with you. I found all the conversations, all the emails, everything that showed I was just a trophy to you, just an object on the shelf. You made me propose to you. I kept telling you it was too soon. I kept saying I wasn't ready. You would reply with, you're literally pregnant, as if you didn't care how I told you I wasn't ready for that either. You continuously pushed it. I kept saying I'm not ready. You even tried convincing me to let you buy my unborn baby. You
what
said,
the fuck?
What is... What is... Oh my god. This is like actually... This is a madman.
This is a fucking madman.
Is this guy even a man? Is he even human?
I have no fucking idea.
You said word for word, if you don't want her, I'll just give you like $100 grand or something. You act like your kids are just objects. You haven't had that kind of money in years. You kept pushing and even made me order rings and made me sit down and engage myself to you. I was heartbroken and my dreams of marriage were beyond crushed. You made the announcement on Twitter that you said yes. You didn't mention how it was forced. Why didn't I leave? Why didn't I run as fast as I could? Because I was scared. You treated me and everyone as peasants, and would use your popularity against us. You stole money from companies just to buy drugs and never do the work. I had to pull thousands of dollars I needed for food and bills out where the sun don't shine, just to pay back those individuals and pay bills with what was left. They were so kind about it. I was so scared. I wanted so badly of them to slip them a note saying I'm afraid. I felt so numb. I wanted to die. I was ready to take myself to the hospital just so I could sleep in a clean bed and have safe people around me. I was giving the baby nearly every ounce of energy I could when I
I'm
barely
not
had any.
saying anything because I'm just sitting here, fucking mouth agape. Like,
Yeah,
what
no,
is
like,
this?
I'm surprised I'm able to read this without breaking a sweat. Like, jeez. This is crazy.
This is fucked.
Sleep deprivation is so dangerous, and you didn't care, even at your stable moments. I would beg and cry just to be left alone. I was so tired. I wanted you better, but I was falling apart. I knew for a while I wanted to leave. I just never knew how. I would try to talk to you about your actions calmly, and I would give ultimatums, and you'd treat me horribly. I kept in touch with some friends close by, and also friends in other states, so some people were in the loop, and I had people to talk to. I constantly feel dumb, and tell myself I deserve it all for not walking away sooner. I blame myself when I shouldn't. You would constantly rant and rave at me for doing things you asked me to do. You love eggs with cheese and you love pasta, so one night I was excited. I made you eggs with some delicious pasta. I handed it to you and you threw it on the table saying, "Why the heck would you make that?" I replied with, "You love that food." And you said, "It doesn't go together, so thanks. Now I just won't eat." And proceeded to throw a tiny tantrum.
What the fuck is wrong with him?
What is wrong with him? There's very clearly many screws loose in this guy's head.
Oh yeah, there is. He has schizophrenia.
Oh, there you go.
And he smokes weed on top of that.
That's not a good combination. I went and sat in the shower and cried for what felt like hours. You would always say, "I pay for everything," when I never would ask you to. I kept offering to help. You wanted to own me and kept making fake promises. You just wanted to be in control of my life. You would have me get ready for date nights, moan about me being too tired, and then you'd invite your friends over. I was constantly asking you to spend time with me. I would be so stoked to go baby shopping, and you wanted nothing to do with it. You were so careless, yet stayed preaching to your fans about how great of a father you are and how excited you were. You even made me do it all, the birthday and Christmas shopping for your son, just to take all the credit for it. You whined at me for not being able to move a washing machine that weighed 200 to 300 pounds. I was pregnant. I thought I broke our new washing machine. I asked you for help, and you threw a tantrum, started calling me stupid, saying I can't do anything right. It was never broken. It just needed reset. I felt numb and sat on the floor. I wanted to do that.
I want to end my life because you made me feel... Fuck, this is just fucked.
This is very messed up.
Schizophrenic aside, this isn't schizophrenia. This is fucking man-child rage.
It really is. Like, holy cow. Yeah, because all you made me felt was, you're not enough, you can't do anything right. I was never allowed to stand up for myself. If I had an anxiety attack, you would call me a baby and degrade me. Yet when you would get emotional, you expect everyone to bow down at your feet and feed you love and support on a gold platter. Even when mentally stable, you knew how to help yourself. You knew abusing drugs could make you go into permanent psychosis. You abused drugs. You pressured our friends into doing things and would degrade them if they didn't want to. So many people spent so much money and time helping you when you needed help, yet you treated everyone so poorly when you didn't get what you want. I would ask you not to smoke near me or the house to keep the baby safe, and you'd whine at me saying it's your house. I should have left. You made me take care of your child. Alicia, your mom, and I did everything. I admire the amount of amazing things that Alicia did. She works her butt off to give her son a beautiful life, and she does a fantastic job at doing so. You made the internet hate her, yet you hid that you were the main problem. You used your platform to try and ruin Alicia's life, yet you chose to leave out the things you caused. You would make me or your mother bring your child back and forth from visits. You'd sit in our room and make us feed/play with your child. I spent more time with the sweet boy in 3 months than you did in a year. You only post father pics when convenient for you.
You know what? It doesn't it seem obvious why now that his own son didn't recognize him after like 8 months? He blamed Alicia for that, but he was just a fucking absent father.
He really was. He just wasn't there.
Cried about that to Keemstar.
Of course he did. He coped, seethed, and he malded.
Yep.
Yeah. You only post father pics when it's convenient enough for you, just to make people think you're involved. You spread disgusting lies behind her back. You'd sit on your phone and go smoke and whine at everyone else to take care of your son. You also have assaulted and harassed several women. Even paid them
Sexually harassed.
Yes. Even paid them off with hundreds of thousands of dollars just to protect your perfect little image. You paid a girl to keep quiet years ago because you almost got her pregnant and you didn't care. You sent that.
Nudes to young girls. You never asked their age because you never cared.
Whoa. Wow. If they walked, you talked. That's not the first time you've done things. You'd be surprised what I've seen and found. You are extremely unfaithful. As soon as I left, you did some things with my best friend, who I considered to be like a sister. Over the years, you failed to acknowledge how you'd pay young girls money for their time and attention. Cheating is gross. Alicia loved you, and you would cheat, manipulate, and lie when she defends herself. You would constantly spread rumors of Post Malone saying awful things about his character, which is odd because last I checked, he was checking in on you and extremely kind, was trying to help you out even. From abusing drugs, you would act possessed to do a bunch of spiritual talk. I knew you were just deep into spirituality, but that was the drugs, because your psychiatrist a few years ago told you that even weed is dangerous and can put you into psychosis. Alicia tried so much to help you. All your girlfriends did. You didn't care. You tried cheating on me with an AI Twitter account. You would tell me how she is the only one that understands you. You would wake people up in the middle of the night to talk about this AI.
I think we get the gist of this.
Yeah, this is actually too much to go through all at once. This is
Yeah.
holy
Honestly,
cow.
if you want to see more, read the document. We get the gist of it. This guy is a fucking...
He's a horrible
reprobate.
person.
But
Now, okay, who's worse, Sky or Gabe?
that's a fucking hard one.
Because Gabe gave someone like an STI that they'll live with for the rest of their life, but Sky abused 2 women and gave them children that they'll have to live with for the rest of their
Probably
lives.
countless women, to be honest with you.
Probably countless women, yeah.
But yeah, nowadays, after all of this, though, Sky went silent for like a year, and now he's come back recently, and he made this long ass post on Twitter.
Yeah. After 2.5-ish years focusing on my butter, taking in what everyone said and thinks, and trying to process, I just want to say that I'm sorry anyone ever felt so negatively of me.
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Anyone felt so negative of me.
This is the Blizzard response. I'm sorry you feel that way. This is the Blizzard response. Literally Activision Blizzard.
What a fucking asshole.
What
like, holy
a
fucking
jerk.
shit.
This is literally Blizzard. Literally Blizzard.
Fuck. Literally the first fucking line, and he
The
does
first
this
sentence,
shit.
and he does this, and we freak out about it. There is no redeeming this man.
Alright, let's continue.
I know it's no toxic gossip train or delicious twit longer, but it's enough characters to establish everything has been processed and taken in from my end, believe me. After speaking with Butter, leagues beyond me, I think it's in everyone's best interest to let them handle everything in the personal realms of Butter. That's what they've dedicated their butter to, after all. I only know my butter. I have no amends making plans or happy ending Butter in my head.
So he's not gonna fucking... Like... Just continue.
Okay, I'm dropping the butter shtick. Okay, it's not funny. In my head, with anyone, and I think it's best everyone moves on with their own lives. As has been stated, I was always just an emotional guy trying to help others, make others
No, you
laugh.
were...
No, he's an abuser.
He was an abuser who... we didn't cover it there, but he would intentionally do drugs that would make him go fucking crazy, and he would stop taking his meds as well, just because he knew how crazy he would go.
Wow. Just wow. Alright,
Continue.
Alright, continue. Just as you only know your life, the one perspective in that life, I only know mine. I'm not a horrible monster that I'm made out to be. It hurts, and it's a lot of what is taking time to process. I've laughed, cried, put emotions and resources and more to a lot of the very people describing me as a horrible person, over mistakes resolved already, and already in the process of healing. It's just been all very confusing.
Yes, the child who is... the 2 children that... And the 2 children you've brought into the world are just resolved mistakes.
Yes, the 2 children that you brought into the world. They have to live their whole lives because of you. That's just a mistake that's in the process of healing.
Yeah.
Alright, life doesn't end until it's over, and each part of it will be a memory you sort through to try and better yourself. While it's taken me a while to understand that other perspectives are their own, I still know who I am, regardless of... Do you, though? Do you?
Really,
He's
though?
a schizophrenic who constantly goes crazy with the stuff. Does he know who he is? Does he?
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
No, I don't think he does.
Regardless of what those are in this age of literal internet insanity, at this point, I suppose it may as well be a twit longer, but it's just a break of silence and nothing else really. I'm not interested in being Sky anymore or a YouTuber, rather just a human being, focusing on improvement, creating things behind the scenes, once in a while telling you what I'm working on, and maybe some music once in a while, as it's therapy to me and my wife. I've been doing okay for those who are interested.
Yes, he's married now.
He's married. Dear Lord. Imagine what he's gonna do. I'm married to my wife, Wendy, making an album, shooting music videos with her, grown past internet drama, and things that lower my connection.
I don't think this is fucking... I don't think this is just fucking internet drama. I think
it's not.
He's seriously
it's way more
harmed
serious than that.
People.
Yeah, he affected many people for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And things that lower my connections to God and higher frequency as we get closer to awakening as a species. The end. I think that could be very well.
No.
Yeah. There's more. The end times, the solar flash, etc., whatever you want to call it. I don't focus too much on the internet anymore due to spiritual beliefs, but I do know you're out there who have supported me and just wanted me to get better. Absolutely no offense to, like, people who are spiritual, but I think, like, the way he's talking about it here might be a sign that he's still on the stuff.
No, he is definitely still on the stuff. And he's definitely schizophrenic, so make of
that what you will.
Yeah.
Like I said, no offense to anyone who is spiritual. If you are spiritual, that is cool, and I'm absolutely glad that you found
I'm personally a very religious man myself, but he is 100% still fucking smoking weed, and he's a fucking schizophrenic, and those things don't mesh well at all.
They do not. I just wanted to say that those of you who have wanted me to just get back to a space I was at before, I appreciate you and saw the redemption stories you all wanted from me so much. I'm off drugs. Sure. I'm eating healthy. And really, alchemically focusing on my mind and body? Alchemically?
Alchemy.
Yeah.
Like,
he's using alchemy.
He's fucking on drugs.
Yeah. 100%. He's still on drugs. Thank you to those who just wanted a better me. I saw it. I just personally hit a point of pressure. I never wanted to be some unmemeable, perfect, non-human idea of everyone's old hero. LOL, the Miles Morales memes. What the heck, lol. Those were, like, confusing and left me in a weird spot of never knowing how to come out and say, guys, I'm just a guy who makes funny videos, employed friends which caused emotions to be included, has a booming voice and a viper tongue, and makes just as many mistakes as you during the process of learning in life. I doubt most people are gonna, like, abuse women the way that Sky did.
No,
right?
They aren't.
Yeah, most people
and before his schizophrenia really took hold, he was still being a fucking dick, so he was still doing all of that to Lisa.
Yeah, and also just generally being a jerk to all his employees.
Yep.
Yeah. I've been living in acceptance of my bipolar schizophrenia over the last 2 years, and my wife Wendy has helped a lot, but it took a long time for me to understand what was happening to me as it developed over the past 5 years. Thankfully, I'm finally in a place where I feel comfortable enough to let everyone in again, and hopefully look to the future. I don't think anyone wants to be let in with you again after all that.
Honestly, if he wants to improve in life, that's fine. In fact, that's admirable. But you don't fucking post about it on Twitter.com.
Yeah, keep that to yourself, and just focus on your own life.
Yeah, exactly. Just focus on your own life. Don't fucking make it anyone else's.
Exactly. Seriously.
And he's also made 2 YouTube videos in the last week.
Oh, yeah?
That seem to be addressing that. And we're going to watch both of them, because they're very short.
Oh, boy. I'm excited to show you the things I've been working on behind the scenes. I'm not really interested in talking about anything native anymore, yada, yada, yada. Those are the links, alright.
Yes. Well, the link to his channel, which then...
Let me go ahead and go here. Alright, and I will show this on the screen.
Yep. And then number 1, and then, well, where have you been?
And I got a new job. Alright.
Oh, hey.
That's what he sees when he's on the drugs.
Turn it up a little. Why is he fucking wearing a Star of David and a cross?
You fucking stable now?
I don't know. Those are two different religions.
Over the last
Messianic Jews do exist, but still, they.
gone through quite the roller coaster.
He's not one of them.
He's not one of them.
Oh shit, hey. So, over the past 3 years, it's been a wild ride, and, you know.
He's playing
Look
this
at
like
that.
silly music.
You see, I have actually been working on a lot of things. I wanna, you know, I wanna tell you everything.
Are you sure he's not on drugs?
I think he is.
It's a little telegram right
Like, look at his pupils. They seem pretty fucking dilated to me.
as it goes along.
Yeah, and the way he's acting.
Some drops over the next few days. I haven't finished the album. I haven't finished it. It's like, I know it's been like 3 years. It's not that I didn't want to finish my album.
It's that
It's
you
that I
were a
just
fucking
genuinely
nutcase.
believed
Yeah.
that I was gonna save the world. People, the world.
What?
What? Yeah, Pineapple, I think you're right. He's still on drugs.
How do I explain to you?
What man
without
does
explaining
this?
everything?
After everything that happened, does
Other than
After everything that is happening.
I'll tell you more. All of your wildest dreams, everything that you could have possibly thought would happen, is happening.
My viruses don't work on me. I've got Jesus on my side.
Why is
Got
he
God
doing
hand on my
this?
side.
why is he doing this?
What is this? This is not the time to be making weird, funny edits, okay? You need to address what you've done and say that you've done these awful things and sincerely apologize for it. And I don't just mean
Yeah.
saying like, oh, I did horrible things. No, you need to say what you did. All right?
And then maybe you can return after that.
Maybe. But only if you actually are a good boy. All right?
Now let's watch the second video now.
Yeah, let's watch the
See
second
what-
video before I go on about rants and all that crazy stuff.
Well, if it isn't you guys again. So, I understand that last video might have been a little jarring. It might have
Yeah, you think?
not
You
eased the
think?
concerns of the masses. And I understand that. And that's why I made that video.
What's with the fucking audio?
I have no clue.
So, I'm here with a hat.
Dude! What are you doing?
I'm the COO of Storyfire now.
Oh yeah, Storyfire. I remember that dumpster fire.
My job is the COO of Storyfire.
Why did they give him a fucking job of
I have a hat.
Why did they give him a CEO role at that
not
website?
not CEO, COO, Chief Offering Up.
Oh, okay. I thought he misspoke CEO.
If you know, I'm putting the hat back on. Everyone, calm down. If you followed the telegram, then
Why?
you would know this now that I'm the COO of Storyfire. So, I do want to go ahead and say,
Like I said, what a dumpster fire Storyfire was.
mentally,
Yep.
I've been just kind of focusing on that. Actually, I wound up getting this job.
So much of a
at
dumpster
Storyfire.
fire, it
Probably
seems
actually
like
know all of this
it
information
seems like they hired an even bigger dumpster fire.
because I dropped this on
Yeah.
Storyfire a few minutes early. Like birds, I know you guys have so many questions.
It's the only place that would hire him for anything is one that's already going downhill.
Yep.
I literally owe my entire life and everything to you guys. I didn't get to say that in the last video, but you know, I just wanted to be funny, and not a lot of people found it as funny as I did.
Because it wasn't
It was
funny.
not funny.
I do have.
It was
And-
not the way to respond after all of that had happened.
So like,
Exactly.
I can't say much about it yet, but and I have a documentary coming about the last 3 years. I know you guys really want to know about that.
Oh God, what's that gonna be?
No, what is that gonna? We should follow up like with us reacting to that documentary.
I told you
Probably
guys
as a
I have
special.
plans for this channel.
Yeah, as a special, certainly.
Myself, so
I don't think it would be good enough for a whole like actual
right
show.
here. This is a Discord link.
Don't go to that Discord link.
I'm sure
Yeah,
you can put two
don't.
and two together there. And we're going for the One Piece. I know that I haven't spoken my side on a lot of things. If you can't tell, it's because I'm working on Jurassic Park. this could be you.
The fact that he is fucking this confident,
At my side.
it's unnerving.
It is very unnerving. Like, what the
I haven't done
heck?
anything yet. What about her side? What about her side? I've been staying in
She
a
just looks
positive mindset.
uncomfortable, to be honest with you.
She does look very... there's a reason she's wearing
I'm
sunglasses.
merely gone to focus on my mental.
Oh god, you're probably right.
Yep.
Positive mindsets.
I hope you're not, but you're probably right.
There is absolutely a reason she's wearing sunglasses.
Brief
So is this confidence spurred on by drugs?
Most certainly.
For those who
Jojo, that's his wife.
That is his wife,
I have
yes.
a brief, super brief update. And like right now, me personally, I'm going to be staying and focusing in the present and the future.
What is this? What does that even mean?
being said,
What is all of
I got a
this?
documentary. I saved the world, dude. You don't know it, but I did. The mycelium.
What?
What is this guy?
This guy's high as shit.
More than likely, yes. Like, holy cow.
You know, it turns out I was just crazy.
I don't even act this weird.
Get serious here for a second. You know, it's a spooky thing. It's a scary thing. And luckily, I had a lot of people who helped pull me back to reality. I was
I don't think he's in reality though.
No, his mind is struggling between the two planes of existence.
No, and even if this is just a ha-ha funny, it's not the time for ha-ha funnies.
This is not the time for Look at all the weed he's growing.
This isn't our garden. We just found this garden. This isn't our garden. There was a shining light, a beacon, you could say, almost like a fire. Stories.
Wait, pause that.
Yeah. Should I read this?
Yeah.
On the real, okay. Thank you to all my friends, old and new, for pulling me back. Thank you to everyone who prayed for me to get better and heal. Thank you to those who said kind words and having patience rather than hopping on a side in a matter they weren't involved in. Sorry, I can't say more yet. Patience is appreciated. Thank you for your understanding. Until then, I'll be letting the pros do their thing while I continue to focus on my new job and mental recovery.
This just leaves me fucking drained, to be honest with you.
Me too.
You did so good.
So I was just wondering, like, when do I get to go home?
Like, I don't know if he's trying to be haha funny because he's high, or he's just trying to be funny. But
Yeah, sure, my wife, you know,
I think he's high.
she did like 98%.
Like, I can't.
like, out of every way to respond after all of that, like,
Zango had a better response than this.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay, maybe not. Actually, no. Zango's was either on par or worse, actually.
But, like, all you had to do is express remorse in a serious manner, and he could have probably coasted with his fucking schizophrenia as a excuse.
But then he does all this, and it's like, what?
What indeed?
Are you getting tired, man?
I'm just tired of everything at this point.
Okay, yeah, I think now's probably a good time to call it.
Yeah, I do as well.
All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the show.
I likewise.
Yeah, I've been Delta225.
I've been Pineapple.
Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go lay down and cry to sleep.
I'm gonna go sleep and probably not wake up for 2 months.
All right. Well, I'll see you then.